G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks Tony, nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
And welcome to Largs Reserve for the second semi-final in the Buddy Bet Division 1 season. Well, coming up, it's 2 of the most successful clubs in the league's history, 2 of the most longest surviving clubs in Division 1, and definitely for 2022, 2 of the best sides in the division. One brings a stifling defence, the other a well-balanced attack, and both have grand final dreams, but today only one can book that early berth. A thanks to all those that helped bring this mighty match to you: the Banner Crew, Buddy Bet Sip and Save, Wakefield Sports Clinic, Sport Tools, Police Credit Union, O'Connell Meats, Central Market, Simon Black Academy, Roll the Dice Racing, Archie's Footwear, New Balance, Powerade, Dartfish, Sports Interactive, C-Max Clinical Research, and the Mosley Bar and Kitchen. Coming up, it's the minor premiers, Port District, against the second place, Goodwood Saints. Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League. And welcome everyone to Largs Reserve, home of the minor premiers of the 2022 Buddy Bet Division 1 season, Port District. They're playing the Goodwood Saints, the winner of this one, into the grand final. My name's Phil Head, and thanks for joining us today. Huge footy game coming out, one of the biggest of the year. And it's so big that my co-commentator even has made the dash back from his overseas assignment from the sunny beaches of Bali because he didn't want to miss it. Sean Jackson, welcome back to Oz.
Oh, thanks, Phil. Yeah, great to be here in some respects. Great to be here at the game, but the cold when it hits as you get off the plane is hard to deal with, Phil. And I thought that we're in spring. I expect.
Yeah, welcome to September.
I've got maybe a short shirt at least might have been on the cards.
So what temperatures have you endured the past week?
It's been consistent 28, 29, nothing else. The last 11 days.
Glorious.
Going to come back to this. But, well, I guess it is a winter sport, but normally we do see it warm up. But how about the crowd, Phil? Considering the conditions,
yep,
The camera picks up on the far side. The Port Districts, they know how to support their own. They've got a pretty good following, haven't they?
They have indeed, and we've often seen a little group gathering on the far side. Well, it's mutated is not the right word, but it's just exploded in growth. There is pretty much standing room only on the far side, and it should be a big day. You can see the weather. It's, to me, Jacko, it's a bit of a Melbourne sort of day. If you see the Adelaide Brighton Cement Factory there, the flag is blowing pretty strongly to the left of screen. The occasional southerly shower sort of sprints past for a minute or two. It's going to be a day that you'll be sunburnt one day, windburnt the next, I reckon.
Yeah, I think the good thing is, Phil, the conditions won't be a factor, you wouldn't think. I mean, the ground here is always in good nick. It's on the sandy stretch, as you'd know. Sandy belt here at Largs, and very rarely do we see it chopped up with mud. It is an unusual shaped oval, but that won't hurt Goodwood Saints either, because they're used to playing on a compressed ground themselves. But this ground is probably longer than Goodwood Saints, but it is narrow.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of people say this is a death knell for wingmen, this ground. There's just not a lot of room to move. So it'll be the side that can play good contested footy and move the ball quickly that'll end up being the winner.
Well, earlier today, Craig Lambert caught up with the coaches of both sides. We'll see how their nerves are going heading into the big match.
Hey guys, welcome to the second semi-final today. I've got Luke Donaldson from the Goodwood Footy Club. I know he's flat out. It's a massive day. All the best today, Luke.
Thanks very much. We're really excited for it. Can't wait to get into it.
Good, mate. Preparation's been good. I know it's one-on-one this year, but you know what? You put that behind you. It's all about today, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been building for this all year since pre-season. Trained hard, had a block sort of towards the back end of the year. So our guys are really well prepared physically and mentally. We're ready to go.
You got the best squad, mate. There's no injuries, so no questions can be said after the game. So and so was out. This is your better team today.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we say that every week. We need to get better each week from the finals, and this week Reece Slape comes back in. Unfortunately, Jimmy Lakin, who's been terrific, misses out, but that's footy. Can't wait for the contest.
All about finals, contested footy. KPIs around the ball, that's where it's going to be one today, and I reckon that's been your strength for the year too, mate. So, and you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. We play a game style suited for finals footy intentionally, so we come into finals feeling well prepared. You saw last night with Sydney, their ability to tackle and put pressure on was outstanding, and they got the result.
Luke, all the best today, mate, from Dartfish and the Adelaide Footy League, mate. It's always a pleasure talking to you, mate, and hopefully we can have a beer after the game.
Thanks for the coverage, boys. We appreciate it. Have a good call.
No worries. Welcome to Port Districts Oval today. We've got the second semi-final, Port Districts and Goodwood Saints. It's going to be a great game. I've got the coach of Port Districts, and they've had a magnificent year, Josh Ramsey. How are you, Josh?
Yeah, going well, Lambo. Thanks for asking.
Good, mate. One game each apiece this year. You put that behind you. Today's the day, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been two really good contests during the year. I think in the first game we had some real control through the early stages of that game before Goodwood Saints were able to get some momentum at home, and they were sort of a train we couldn't stop. So did some homework on that, and the second game out here was similar. I mean, we kicked really straight in the first half, which helped us.
10 goals straight,
yeah, I think it was 8 or 10 goals straight, and they missed a few. And then in the second half, I thought the third quarter was probably, in terms of our pressure and ability to win the footy back, was as good as we've done this year, outside of probably Ross Trevor a few weeks ago. And that's what the sort of the plan and the messaging's been today, is just around pressure and our ability to win the footy back to give us opportunity going the other way.
Finished top, so you had a week's break, so no excuses, should be fresh, raring to go, and out of the squad, you got the best 23, mate?
Yeah. We would have no excuses now. We've rested well. We had a couple of guys that injured earlier in the year that are playing out here now, but the guys that have come in have sort of kept them out, so we got no excuse. We'll have our best 22 and see what it looks like.
Contested footy, take your chances, pressure all day. I reckon your boys will be up to it.
Yeah. Absolutely, that's been the messaging all through the year, and now's the stage to really bring that to the elite level.
Mate, from Dartfish and also the Adelaide Footy League, we appreciate everything throughout the year. All the best, and hopefully we can have a beer with you after the game, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, no worries.
Thanks for your time, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Welcome to Port Districts Oval today. We've got the second semi-final.
And welcome back. And we do give special thanks to both Josh Ramsey, who the Port D coach. He's their A-grade league coach for Port Districts, just to clarify.
Bit rough, that.
Bit rough. And Luke Donaldson, the coach of Goodwood Saints. We thank them for their time on what's a pretty big day. And just in the coaching, it's the same as the teams, Jacko. Goodwood Saints, to me, have the experience. They've been top 3 the last 2 seasons. For Port District, this is new territory.
Yeah, I'm not sure it has a big impact, or I'm not sure that your nerves lessen any further the longer you coach, if that makes sense. So
yep.
Luke seemed a bit on edge, and I think almost the reverse applies. The longer you coach, the more you realise that you're coming to the end.
I'm with
and
you.
so you want to make every post a winner. And well, for the coaches, once the game starts, there's not a lot of opportunity to get rid of some of that energy. Whereas the players, once the ball is bounced, 10 minutes in the game, all is forgotten, and they're cracking in. And the coaches don't have the luxury of being able to expend some of that energy. So it is important that they do control their nerves to some degree, Phil.
All righty, let's have a look at both teams, their background and how they got here today. We start with Port Districts. There's been a presence of football on the Port. I'll start with Goodwood Saints. Formed with a 1985 merger of the Goodwood Tigers and St Raphael's. That's what we always say, the Goodwood Saints. 9 Division 1 flags. Only Adelaide University and Port District have won more. Most of those in the 2000s have been in Div 1 for as long as the Crows have been playing AFL. That's 32 straight seasons. And might have to replace that one. Good Sports Club of the Year was a great accolade, something that they tend to pick up from different places. The Goodwood Saints are a very well-run organisation.
Yeah, well, nobody works the grants better than Goodwood Saints. And Craig Scott is a master at manipulating all grants, anything to do with football. Goodwood Saints seems to be at the front of, and he'll be a loss for him when he goes at the end of this year, Phil. He's been such a terrific president in 2 different spells.
Yep.
I know he's going to hang around next year and groom the heir.
He's going to be busy because lots of people are going to approach him for lots of different roles.
Yep.
Just having a look at the Goodwood Saints season. One of the things I note here, Jacko, besides the 6-game winning streak that set it up in the first half, every time they've lost, they've bounced back with a good win. And so they've never had a bad run. They've always responded a loss with a win. Scoring ranked 2nd behind St Peter's. Defence ranked 4th. Of all the clubs in the finals, they're probably the best balanced. As you see through their recent years, a couple of premierships. A great run. I mean, even the one year they finished 8th, every other year they've had a winning season. They are, for mine in many ways, they are the model club for others that are community-based to follow.
Absolutely. If you were looking to get a blueprint of how to run a successful community football club, Goodwood Saints are, without doubt, Phil, the club that you'd be looking to emulate or copy. So, Craig Scott will find himself pretty busy on the phone once he retires.
Quickly, Port District, as I mentioned, footy dates back to the 1870s here. Semaphore Central, League 2nd season, 2nd oldest club in the comp. Semaphore Central moved with Exeter in 79 to become Port District, but they decided they'll just adopt the Semaphore history, claim those 12 premierships, 18 in total between Semaphore Central, Exeter. Port District's last A-grade flag in Division 1, 1992, Div 2, 2007. So any senior premiership, it's been a while.
Yeah, and I reckon the 1992 premiership, I'll stand corrected if this is incorrect, but I reckon the 1992 one was on the back of having won the Div 2 the year before. One of the only 2 clubs that have ever gone up and won it in their first year.
We'll go to Lambo, who's out in the middle of Largs Reserve.
Welcome back, Jacko and Phil. 2nd semi-final here today. It's going to be a great game. Bit of a ground report. It's going to be 14 degrees, mostly sunny. The ground's in good nick. To your left-hand side, the northern end, it's probably worth about 3 to 4 goals at the moment. We've got the 2 captains coming in now for the toss. And here we go, boys.
Both appeared on Between the Posts during the week, Phil.
Here we go.
A couple of good interviews.
It was heads. Port Districts won the toss. They go into the northern side. And like I said, Jacko and Phil, I reckon it's worth around 3 goals. The crowd here is unbelievable at the moment. I counted them. We've got about 1,222 people, and we're expecting about 1,500 people. Jacko and Phil, have a great day commentating, boys, and this is going to be a superb game. I'm going for Goodies by 27 points, Jack.
Okay.
Back to you, boys.
Wow-wee, Craig Lambert.
Yeah, I should mention that the Boundary Rider crosses are brought to us by the Police Credit Union through today's finals. He's one of our numerous sponsors.
He's forgotten his roots, Phil. The ex-Port Adelaide under-19 captain, best and fairest.
Well, that's...
He's gone for the eastern... Oh, that's because he lives out the eastern side of town these days, Phil.
Oh, no. Oh, look, I live very close to Lambo region. We never thought. Port District season very quickly. In spurts, 3-game winning streak here, 4-3 again, 4-0 after a loss this year. So I've never had a down bet. Scoring ranked 4th, which is pretty cool, but it's the number 1 ranked defence. 55 points a game is all they've allowed. Then last game against Old Iggies, they allowed, I think, 90 in that upset loss. But I'm almost ignoring that last one because they locked in the minor premiership. There really wasn't much for them to play for.
Yeah.
And you can see the rise where they've been 7th, 6th or 5th the last 8 seasons, and now they're the minor premiers. So thanks for all those graphics. We're not too far away from a start. X Factor, what's going to be deciding this game today?
Well, just before that, Phil, the interesting thing I'll point out with Port Districts is that 2 of their losses came to sides ranked 10th and 9th on the ladder at home.
The time.
At home.
Yeah.
So you would give them that all day, every day, and that's just an attitude thing. Look, for me, Tom Corcoran, the inclusion of Tom Corcoran, he's only played the 4 games, 2 in the A's and 2 in the C's. So if he is fully fit, having played most of the year at Port Magpies, I think
11 games with the Port Magpies.
Yeah, I think that's a really big inclusion. The one Achilles heel from, I think that Goodwood might be able to stretch him a little bit at height at the front end of the ground with Angus Rana. I'm not sure who matches up on him, but Tommy Corcoran allows Port District's coach Josh Ramsey a bit of flexibility in that he can play as a key back. He can also go forward, and at a pinch he can go in the midfield. So I think he gives them that little bit of a safety blanket.
Okay.
In that he can play multiple roles, and it's terrific to have a player like that in your side.
Both sides, to mine, definitely strengthened with the changes from their previous game. 3 changes for Port District. They go from 21 to 22, their first finals match. Tommy Corcoran, Shannon Jenner and Sam McKay are 3 big ins. Fraser Thorne and Miller Carter, their 2 omissions. For Goodwood Saints, Reece Slape comes in for James Lakin. No disrespect to James, but Reece is a quality player and he will certainly boost the Saints' chances this afternoon.
I do. He definitely will, Phil. We've seen him play some terrific games, and we've also, on occasions, written Goodwood Saints off in games at half-time when they've been behind and when they can't win from here, and then they end up getting the chocolates. So I am loath to back against Goodwood Saints on that basis alone. Having said that, we are paid not very well.
Oi!
We are paid to put our kahunas on the line.
How much
Phil.
are they paid in Bali to commentate for them?
So I am going to go for Port Districts by 9 points.
Yeah, I'm going to go Port Districts. I'm not concerned with margins in finals. Only because from between the posts during the week, filling in for you,
yes,
I got assigned a buddy bet and I got first pick and I picked Port District. Defence wins championships. Port District have been consistent all year. But can they convert a really solid, quick-rising season to be minor premiers into final success? Let's find out. You're with Sean Jackson.
Yeah, it's a good first ruck for Port Districts. Gaffney's in there. McKay gets first hand on the ruck over the top of Tommy Carter. There's a chance the ball spills out initially, but then it's drawn back in. Umpire lets it go, which I like. And eventually the ball goes Port District's way to Tom Gray. And they hook it around the corner, heading into the pocket, looking for the leading goal kicker for the year. I'm having trouble with my words today, Phil, so I apologise for that. Dale Pearce, who's kicked 28 goals, gives them a good focal point, and they are locked inside their forward pocket.
Yeah, one of the 2 tennis clubs that are based here at Largs Reserve.
Yeah.
This one in the northwestern pocket. Carter sandwiched by 2 players, Shepherd being one of those for Districts. A fair bit of black out there. Certainly front on there's no clash. From behind just a little bit. Oh, Carter. Yeah, he says, I'm going to take the ball out of the pack, looking for Lobby. He couldn't take the mark. A lot of pressure, as you would expect, opening minutes of the final. Halsbauer, the captain, saw him pick up the ball. Quick
Good
kick to the
mark.
outside. Nice stretch and grab by Rana, who you said might have problems being matched up today. We'll see who his opponent is in just a sec. His kick probably left a bit to be desired. Ends up in the lap of Sammy Gray. He's tackled straight away. It'll be a Goodwood Saints free kick. Their first chance to go forward in this second semi-final.
Yeah, looks like Tom Smush may have the job on Angus Rana. If not him, Tommy Corcoran, or I've spoken enough about. But now they go forward, Goodwood Saints. Got a bit of space here in front of Scar. If he can, the ball sits up nicely for him. He comes at the footy now, doesn't take it with the first bite of the cherry and ends up with Sean Davidson. Now they come down this wing, looking for Shepherd. Good use of the body, Shepherd. Turn on the inside, a little bit slow to get going. Here it is, Niskahus has been in good form this year. He now lays it off to Tommy Carter. Off to Zach Hawkins. Deep into the forward line looking for and almost finding. Didn't take the mark, but in the end paid the free kick for head high, or too high, Dale Pearson at 6'8", I think he is in the old scale, or 200 centimetres. Dale Pearce presents a pretty awesome target as they go forward with the long ball.
28 goals this year. His biggest haul was 5 goals against St. Peter's. But interesting that the districts have the breeze. I reckon it's worth 1 or 2. And look at that crowd in the pocket behind him. Wow.
There's a lot of people behind the fence as well, Phil. You see that? You see the tent set up there?
They don't need it. Like, you're not charged for entry here.
No, well, a funny story. That set up behind the goals there, that is actually, I believe, set up every home game by one of the Port District's players' dad, whose name will come to me in a second. I'll get back to you on that. But a poor miss from Dale. He should have nailed that. Sean McInerney. It is Luke McInerney's father who sets that up every week, so he can watch the game from that vantage point.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You can see the breeze take that kick and just drop it like a stone in front of the scoreboard. So Districts 1, Goodwood Saints 0 as it spills out of bounds. Let me see, how many kids have we got running the scoreboard today? We've got 7. There was 3 of them in the Bs and they didn't do a great job, I might add. I saw them miss one behind kicked and none of them were watching at the particular time. But anyway.
It looks like I got that matchup wrong too. I think it's Ben Millman, the full back for Port Districts, who is standing Angus Rana.
Good luck.
Yeah, giving away a little bit of height. Both lean competitors. We've seen Angus Rana take a couple of spectacular marks throughout the course of the season. So,
and of course, we are going to have to deal with the fact that Tommy Carter, there's 2 of them. 24 for Districts and 28 for Goodwood.
Right. Yep. Miller Carter, of course, Tommy Carter's cousin, just can't break into the A-grade side at the moment, which is a surprise. But Tommy Carter from Goodwood Saints now handballs it forward. It's something that, as an opposition coach, Phil, you would be talking to your players about. Tom Carter from Goodwood Saints loves to take the ball out of the ruck. Now, you're going to concede that you won't always win the rucks, but you've got to make sure you don't allow him to just take it out and set the play up.
Especially around goal.
Yep.
Which he's done on numerous occasions. He's already had one of those today. This time he elects with a big thump. Has the run. Oh, there's a courageous smother. That was Smush, who just got in the way. That one would sting, I would reckon. Spills to him now, actually. Kick around the body. Bouncing ball towards the 50-metre arc. Districts run hard to meet it. Bit of a tap from Shepherd to Hawkins. Spills to the Saints. They look to clear, looking for Lauby, who marks just in bounds, almost in front of a commentary spot on the beachside wing here at Largs Reserve.
Yeah, I don't know if you picked up on the last play. Sam Graves about to get the footy here now. His ability to get the handball out when he was about to get tackled about a minute ago is something that most players in this competition couldn't do. His speed of hand was unbelievable. Anyway, one of my favourite players, Cooper Gaffney, has it now, goes into the middle. Really good effort by Jason Niskahus, is it? Yep. And he's been rewarded with either a mark or a free kick.
It's great that we've got the helicopters here getting the aerial vision of this game for us. They've been buzzing around for about the last half hour. Shepherd has it. He's taken down, taken high. And Jacko, if nothing else, Districts are having it down their half of the field. but they have the breeze, so there is pressure to put something on the scoreboard.
Yeah, well, Lambo called it a 3 or 4 goal breeze, and that's a beautiful kick. Finds Zach Hawkins. No, it's
Jack Gaffney.
Gaffney, yeah, and Tommy Carter gets in the way beautifully there to intercept. Started the game very well, hasn't he? Carter, as a opposition coach, once again, you'd have to make a decision whether you're going to run Sam McKay with him when he goes back, because he can hurt you in the back play if you let him run unattended. But taking a beautiful mark for Port District, Zach Hawkins. Anthony Scarr, the Goodwood Saints player there, caught flat-footed.
Well, Hawkins attacked the footy. Scarr waited for it to come to him.
Yeah, sometimes that can happen. You actually think you've got a bit more time. You don't sense the opposition player, and so you don't feel like you have to jump and attack the ball. And good lesson there for players. You've always got to come and attack the ball. So Zach Hawkins straight in front, about 40 metres, breeze at his back. Need this one, Port Districts, with all the play they've had, and he makes no mistake. That is Port Districts' the first goal of the game, in fact, and Port Districts are out to 1-1. Goodwood Saints yet to trouble the scorers.
Our umpires today, and manager of the umpires, Colin Ralston, does have a sense of humour.
Yes.
Field umpires, Paul Smith and Paul Smitheram.
Oh, Smitheram.
That's it. Boundary umpires, Anthony Bertoli and Tristan Rogers. Goal umpires, Benjamin Learson and Robert Tainish.
Okay. So McKay against Carter again. I think McKay got the first one of the game. Carter, no problems there with the left hand. Does follow up beautifully. Gives it to Ellis. It's good. Port Districts have all the answers though. Gaffney, McInerney coming off the back of the square. Zach Hawkins hooks it around the corner. Sean Davidson attacks that with some real vigour. Smush to Gray. Heffernan. Beautiful kick in the direction of Shepherd. Good defence from Goodwood Saints there. That was Slape Reese back into the side this week. Important player for Goodwood Saints. And the umpire has paid hold ball against Trent Heffernan there and Goodwood Saints.
He's in a bad way from that last ruck contest.
Sam McKay, you keep your eye on that one, Craig, because that will throw them out a little bit. I think Pearce will have to go in the ruck.
And there goes your forward target. As one of the busiest players so far, Carter picks up well at ground level, dishes out the hand pass. This is about as far as Goodwood have got. They really haven't got beyond the 50-metre arc thus far. And again, Port District's mopping up, showing why they're the #1 defence in the comp.
Beautiful take,
front of the
Shepherd.
Scoreboard now, almost hit the run. Heffernan's pass just missed a running target. Back to him now. He'll kick inside 50 to the Tennis Club pocket. Out charges Dale Pearce. Takes a strong mark. And he'll have a chance to slot his first.
Well, the speed of this game has been fantastic, Phil. The opening 5 or 6 minutes has been as good as you'll get in this competition. It's been a treat to watch so far. I'm not sure the pace can stay at this level.
Pearce comes in. Already had a sighter from the other side, which he missed. And no missing with that. That is a great kick from that angle. And Port Districts off to a quick start. They are 2-1-13. Goodwood haven't had an inside 50 shot as yet. That's on the Sportal scoreboard with 9 minutes gone of the first quarter.
Yeah, so I've called that. Looks like Pearce has had to go into the ruck, which does unsettle their forward half a little bit, Port Districts. The only tall really now is Shepherd. I guess Tommy Carter is the other one who can play as a lead-up player, but the rest are all small types. Batty, Gray. Anyway, we're back into the centre. Again, Port District, Cooper Gaffney's he's had an influence very early in this game. My medal picker. No, I think I picked Nick Favretto, to be honest with you, but that was early in the year. But that quick kick straight in the arms of Tommy Carter, and he'll get a shot from probably the exact same spot that Zach Hawkins kicked the first one of the game, Phil.
Yep, 8 goals from 11 games in the A's this year.
So straight in front, kicking from 45. Tommy Carter, I think he's pulled that one to the left. He has. That's a let-off for Goodwood Saints. They would have been staring down the barrel of a 3-goal deficit as it is. 2 goals, 1. Goodwood Saints yet. There, viewers. And that last kick that you just came back in, that was a classic case of robbing Peter to pay Paul. So long kick into the forward half from Port Districts. No Dale Pearce, easy mark for Goodwood Saints. Reece Slate has intercepted the last 2 balls that have gone into the Port Districts forward line. So Sam McKay looks okay on the bench, Phil, so I'm not sure he'll be too far away.
Yep. As we tick, it's 14-0 at the moment. Inside 50s would be a lot to probably 1, and that inside 50 barely went past the paint of 50. Been a very dominant period of time for Port District. Reminiscent, dare I say, Jacko, of we saw them play Glenunga at Webb Oval, and they did something similar. But they had a point where they just dominated, and Glenunga could not get it forward.
Couple of hard nuts there, Burgess and Doug Gregg from Port Districts.
Oh my Lord.
Right in front of the commentator's spot.
Thankfully, there is a fence here to keep the crowd safe, if nothing else, from those two.
Now, Tommy Carter's dominating the ruck at this stage, Phil, and they should get a free kick there. The umpire didn't see it for over the shoulder. So whilst he's clearly winning the ruck, I don't think it's anything yet for Goodwood Saints to panic about, but they would like to get a little bit more inside their front half of the ground, I would have thought.
And we've talked about the Saints' great comebacks. Well, they're setting one up here at the moment. They got a chance here, though. I mean, what chance? Will Clark picks it up, set upon immediately, and Districts, they work in numbers. It's like a wolf pack.
Pearce coming off now too. Looks like it's just winded, I think, Phil.
Yeah. They hunt in packs, and they do it so well. Doug Gregg now inside 50. Who's he going for? This is Passaniti who picks it up. Gets the hand pass away. Who's in board? It missed the target of Tommy Gray. He has to go and get it. Bumped off the ball. Here comes the cavalry in Gaffney. Spills. Passaniti, virtually from a standing start, has somehow kicked it behind. Whilst they find the footy, let's go to Lambo.
Yeah, Samuel McKay's back on, boys. He's okay now, so he's just gone back on.
Very good. For you sitting at home in the comforts of your lounge room, I'll just tell you the temperature's dropped about 5 degrees here in the last minute or two. So Goodwood Saints now come out of the back half. They're locked on the far back pocket. I think it's Charles Pridham with the ball. He brings the ball back into the middle for Slape. Reese Variety. He now goes long down the far side.
That's the kick. Oh, almost a hanger taken by Goodwood Saints player, but into the fall of the ball is Districts. Again, hand pass just missed its target in Gaffney. This sets it up for Goodwood in open space, or relatively open space is Burgess. Probably the one player you cannot give open space to. There's about 30 players that have just rushed past him, and this will be a rare inside 50 for Goodwood. It doesn't last at all of about 2 milliseconds. And it seems like at the moment they're just playing a bit of catch to catch. That kick inside 50 was about 4-2 Districts, and the kick out was about 4-2 Goodwood Saints. And once again, another forward four-way. Repulsed by Port Districts now. It's Sam Gray to Tom Gray. He wheels around. Good hard work down the field by Zach Hawkins. He's having a good first quarter. And he was thinking about the pass, showing the coach that he was thinking of the pass. But I have a feeling he wants to go and take the shot.
Yeah, disappointing forward entry by Goodwood Saints that last one. They had some opportunities. There's plenty of space there, but the double leading from some of their forward targets left a bit to be desired for me there, Phil.
Hawkins from the edge of 50. We'll get an idea of the breeze here. Seems to be carrying a fair bit, not just straight down the guts, but a little bit to the seaside to the left. Now they're behind 2-5-17, or no, it's 2-4-16. Can't even pass off to you, Jacko. They keep marking and rebounding that quickly.
Yeah, good mark from the ex-skipper Trent Heffernan, who'd be pleased to have made the decision to come back to Port Districts this year. He kicks short now, beautifully executed kick to his best buddy, Jason Niskahus.
State to state there.
And, well, Niska's caught on that right-hand pocket. Difficult kick for a right footer. Sure the breeze is coming over his right shoulder. But he is a good kick for goal normally. We've seen him kick a few goal of the year contenders. Jason Niskahus. And that is an absolute beautiful kick. He kicks Port District's third, his first. And Port District's, well, if they had cleaned up some of their handball errors in the front half of the ground, they would be 5 goals at this stage. And Goodwood Saints, I think it's fair to say we haven't seen them even look like threatening the goals at this stage, Phil. When they've gone forward, they've just looked a little bit rushed. Port District's defence.
It's been inside their, what have we played now? 18 minutes. It's been inside their forward 50 for all of 30 seconds of that. And was wondering how the District's defence would hold up in the finals. Well, it's at the moment the signs are promising, but we are a long way from home, and Goodwood always play at the full 4 quarters. Greig gets the hand pass, the kick, almost the flying mark by Batty.
Fell over again, though.
Fell over at the inconvenient moment. Kick comes out and finds Lorby. Now there's a run and a kick towards that 50-metre arc where there's a lot of black. There's a holding on.
Against Burgess.
So again,
Sean Davidson.
An inside 50 barely lasted 10 seconds.
Yeah, now Davidson goes out the far side to Ben Gould. We saw him play absolute cracking game last time we were here. Best on ground by the length of the straight. He now goes long down the line. Searching for Carter. Goodwood Saints in good position here, though. Jacob Heitman. They keep it alive. In fact, I think the boundary umpire might be calling it back right. Brave decision in front of...
On the boundary line, boys. Great intensity here. She's really packed.
Really packed.
Yeah.
Right.
To the rafters, mate. This crowd.
Packed to the raft, not a bad show. Back in its day. Is it still going? I'm sure.
No, they did a remake.
Okay.
They put it on a streaming service, which nobody watched because it was on a streaming service.
So have a look at the speed of ball movement from Port Districts there. Wow, that was just terrific play, wasn't it? Off the hands, Gaffney ended up with Greig.
Their clearance work is leaving Saints in their dust at the moment.
Yeah, considering the ruckman's been so dominant, they are really struggling. And that's a free kick, I reckon. So this will be their first opportunity to go deep inside the forward 50. Angus Rana, we spoke about his height difference. Not sure he can get the distance with a kick from there, Phil.
Not into the breeze, I don't think.
No, he'd be getting some good advice from a few of the wharfies over that side of the ground.
Where do you live again?
He loads up Angus Rana to the pocket. Not a bad kick. Tommy Carter presented nicely. But again, Port Districts have all the answers. When the ball hits the ground, Goodwood Saints are nowhere to be seen. The loose ball gets are well in favour of Port Districts.
And the hard ball gets as well, I would suspect. And just that Wharfies comment, Jacko, I'll just ask this question. Who had the shortest drive to get here today?
Hey, look, I'm not having a crack at the Wharfies, but there's about 10 Wharfies that play here.
Okay.
This club is built on the wharfs.
Okay. Alrighty, Goodwood Saints back to the footy game. They're getting a little bit of the ball here at the moment, but still really haven't threatened to score. It's with Lorby, just their attacking side, kick inside 50. Again, Shannon Jenner, who's a big in for mine for Districts, takes the rebounding mark. Got a player loose on the front of the clubhouse. Now it's in front of us. Sits nicely. Finiscus right by the boundary line. His kick inside 50. Shepherd waited for it to go over the top of the defender. It didn't. But it spills out of bounds in our little blind spot we have here. And it will be a throw in. 21 gone. 22-point lead. Lambo set a 3-4 goal breeze. He's bang on at the moment.
Nice bit of defence from Jack Luders there. Showed a bit of composure under a bit of pressure. Carter slaps it forward. Heitman. Again, the loose ball pounced on first by Port Districts. Goodwood Saints just can't get it away with any conviction from the congestion at this stage. So the speed of hand by Port Districts is what's hurting Goodwood Saints at the moment. McCabe, good to see him back on the ground. Only as far as Carter. Now Gaffney, watch the hand. Corcoran, far side. Gould. Watch Gray run for him now. Sam Gray out the far side. If he can shorten it to him, he does. Hits him inside 50, the most experienced and credentialed player on the ground. Sam Gray turns his back on the goal. I know Lambo will hate that, but he's inside 50.
He kicks it, Jacko. There's no complaint, mate. There's no complaint.
Well, they've kicked a couple. This seems to be the spot on the ground to kick them today.
Yep. I know
The one straight in front of Tenterveer to the left.
he's passed it off.
We'll go to Sam McKay. And just while he's lining up, I've got an update from Webb Oval. The first semi-final, Glenunga and Prince Alfred. It's Glenunga in front, 2-3-15. Prince Alfred 1-1-7. No idea who's kicking with or without the breeze.
Well, we called that game, that same two teams, about 3 weeks ago there, I think, Phil, and it was a Glenunga result. So
as the kick from the arc of 50 again, distance not a problem. Just a little bit of a hook to the left. That's the third one that they've missed. Similar position, similar kick. 3-5-23. I mean, what makes that score look really, really good in the first quarter is the fact that Goodwood have zippity-doo-dah.
well, we did say the number one defence, Port Districts, and that's being confirmed here for you today, folks. Now Goodwood Saints have an opportunity. Nice bit of movement out of the back half, but have a look at this. Behind the ball, Tom Smush. No. Stolen by Benny Holzbauer, the captain. He's got 1 on 4, though. He's under the pump. Under the pump indeed. Well tackled by Zach Hawkins. Doug Gregg gets it quickly. Goes to Gould out the far side. He handballs back to Cooper Gaffney. Quickly onto the left foot. Going towards Shepherd. A good effort by Jack Luders again.
I reckon he should have tried the rugby league tactic of just kick it towards the goal and go chase it.
Kick to grass.
Because I reckon he would have had the speed on all of those Port defenders.
Yes, indeed.
But he'd be exhausted by the end of it. Throw in front of the scoreboard. Looking good for Port, the home team so far. Oh, they're marking everything. Shannon Jenner has clunked one 30 out.
What a terrific pair of hands, Phil.
Vice-like.
Indeed.
Looks like he's got the sticky stuff. Sure he hasn't. 3-5, especially while he's doing his shoelaces.
Well, you're allowed to have sticky stuff on your hands, Phil.
Are you?
Resin? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I just don't know what sport I'm doing any given day. Some you are, some you aren't.
Jeremy Clayton, the runner for Port Districts today.
Jeremy
too.
Clayton.
Phil.
Don't get much more. Well, wasn't he a great recruit for the Magpies back at that time? McGarry medalist, no less.
Oh, another waste.
Another kick across the field. I haven't seen any kicks go short yet. Into to the right hand side. They've always gone to the left. But
Boys, it should be really 6 goals too. They've missed some easy chances, Port Districts, boys.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Well, that one didn't even get a score, Jacko.
Well, that'd be the one thing the coach, Luke Donaldson, will be talking about at quarter time, won't it? That they've butchered their opportunities, Port Districts. They've thrown everything at you.
Yep.
That's the message you'd be saying. They're throwing everything at us.
Yep.
They're on control. Very rarely does it happen for a full game that you can play to the standard that they're playing at the moment. And the only thing that's letting them down is they're finishing in front of goal.
Spot on.
Throw in. That's a tap. That's a win to Port Districts. Beautiful snap. Sammy Gray.
Wow.
Who was in the ruck on that? Oh, that was Pearce in the ruck doing a brilliant job. That was set play, you'd have to say.
Well, whoever was smart enough to be able to recruit Sam and Tom Gray to the football club at Port Districts this year, that man should be knighted, Phil, because he is clearly as good a player as there is in the competition.
Well, they were juniors here, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, they were.
Before. So it was probably Mum and Dad who recruited him to Port Districts
well,
initially.
He's a bit of a Western Suburbs identity grub, Sam Tom's dad.
And if you know what you're looking for, you can see the replay there, the Summer Black Sammy Gray, of how Gray just ran a lane, the ball arrived as he ran past. And that is a very big goal, pretty much on the quarter time siren. Port Districts, a little bit of reward for effort. They'd be chuffed. 29-point lead at quarter time. No team would be unhappy with that. And just the way they've dominated and given Goodwood Saints absolutely nothing in attack. We'll take a break. Lambo's off to the huddles. Jacko will give you some analysis. I'll give you some scores. This is the Adelaide Footy League, thanks to Filming Footy.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
And welcome back to Largs Reserve. And if you're a fan of the home team, you'll be pretty happy with their first quarter after the 2-week break. The minor premiers Port Districts 4-5-29. Goodwood Saints are yet to score. The goal scorers, 4 individual ones for the Districts: Zach Hawkins, Jason Niskahus, Dale Pearce and Sam Gray, pretty much on the siren. We'll go to Lambo and the huddles very shortly, but Jacko, what did you take out of that pretty dominant first quarter by Port Districts?
Yeah, exactly correct, Phil. 100% dominant Port Districts. The scoreboard actually flatters Goodwood Saints at 4-5. They could easily have been 7 goals at quarter time, Port Districts. So the challenge is right in front of Goodwood Saints now. They've got the breeze. I'm pretty sure the coach will be saying who've seen their best. They can't continue that, but we probably need to try and step it up a little bit ourselves.
Alrighty, let's go to our intrepid boundary rider, Craig Lambert.
Phil and Jacko, yeah, you're spot on, boys. Great quarter by Port Districts. It's probably worth about 4 goals, which is great, but we'll see how good Port Districts' backline is now. So what was missing with Goodwood Saints was those little things that they always love, and they were very slow getting rid of the ball, Jacko, like you said, around the pack. So if they improve in those areas, get the ball down there quick, well, they'll put a lot of pressure on Port Districts' backline. Port Districts want to maintain it, but they want to run and carry against this breeze and keep the contested ball in their favour. Boys, great commentating. I'll speak to you soon.
I'll get off the oval then. The game's about to start.
Lambo's about to need some player insurance. The other game, I'll get, where are we at here? It is a quarter time and Glenunga 3-3-21 lead Prince Alfred 3-2-20. So they've got the close one.
1 point game.
1 point in favour of the Rams. We'll give you updates throughout the afternoon. But we're here at Largs thanks to the Banner Crew, our match day sponsor. And don't forget, Jacko, we have got a couple of awards to give out post-game. But first, let's have the second quarter. Take us away.
Yeah, Tommy Carter back into the ruck. Angus Rana went to the last bounce, but he was only on for about 30 seconds before the siren blew. Carter back in, wins the first hit, hits it forward. Again, Goodwood Saints unable to capitalise on his dominance at the stoppage. Port Districts have won a free kick here. Could have been play on there. Mitch Gaffney now lowers the eyes. Hits it on the 45, not a bad kick, and end up winning a free kick here. Heffernan, he now goes on the same trajectory, looking for Carter, doesn't take it, ball spills. Again, Port Districts first to the footy around the corner. Good collision, 1v2. Good result for Port Districts. Again, it's the ground ball that's been their really dominant part of the game, and we'll get a restart. Port Districts again locked inside their forward half of the ground.
Sammy Gray at the bottom. Oh no, there's Tommy Gray. A Gray down the bottom of the pack. Carter tries the two-handed frontal tap on this occasion.
Did that well. The tunnel ball hit between his legs.
The clearance momentarily for Goodwood, right down the throat of Shannon Jenner. You can see again the huge crowd on the far side. Quite often we call games and there's nothing out there in other venues. Goodwood again trying to get a clearance. They've got a mark.
Oh, if you remember, Phil, we called a game here where we talked about the fact that Port District seemed reluctant to go along to Dale Pearce.
Yeah.
I've noticed today, even though we're going to there's no hesitation about kicking the ball long. So something's changed in the dynamics of Port Districts. Dale Pearce has actually
Was that last
grown
year
in confidence.
we mentioned that?
No, it was this year. Definitely this year.
Okay. Because there was one game here that I missed. I think this is my first trip out of this week. They're in the T-Saucer Districts. They go towards the 50-metre arc. Good plunk, good clunk. Who's grabbed this one?
Gaffney.
That's Jack Gaffney. He'll go with the short kick. So two former Eagles teammates there, I reckon. Jack Gaffney and Sam Gray. Sammy play...
Yep.
Did he play with the Eagles at some point?
No, I don't think he did. No, Tom did.
Tom certainly did, yes.
Yep.
Sam was felt too welcome at Alberton to head down to Oval Avenue. He's straight in front. This will test the range a little bit, I think. I'm not sure if he's close enough. He's going to prove me an idiot.
Oh,
He's not. Oh, he's done the double juke. He's gone the bounce. He's gone the kick it. Come on, kick it.
What about me? That was like that song. What about me?
What about me? Oh, look, if he'd have kicked it, that was... Give him the Player of the Day award right now.
Well, he's being silly here.
He is. No, and that reminds me of last night's game, doesn't it? Where it was the night before, Buddy Franklin there just milked a couple of free kicks from the Melbourne defender. Well, Mason Ellis came at Gray and he retaliated, and it's always retaliated gets caught. But anyway, Louis Whitelock kicks it nicely to Kyle Kirk. He ends up going down the line. Rana was the target. He couldn't take it. And Zach Hawkins sees the ball safely out of bounds. But, a little bit of feeling in behind the play here. Two Grey boys.
Jacko and Phil, just at ground level, Port Districts are just working a lot harder in all the areas.
Yeah. Yep, no, that's a fair call.
Certainly seem to be reading the play first to the footy.
Well,
more numbers at the footy.
There's a lot of Goodwood Saints players we haven't called their names, Phil. So if we had the stat sheet.
You wouldn't be wrong. Smush goes in. He's done some absolutely courageous things. He's picked up... he's been penalised for tunnelling.
Yep.
Technically correct. And look, the problem with tunnelling is not that it's an unfair penalty, but it takes away the natural instinct to fight for the footy.
Well, the problem Tom Smush had there was the ball was bobbling around a little bit. If he was going to keep his feet and run through the ball, then he was going to give away a free kick for charging. Yep. So he decided to hold his ground a little bit and go low. Pays the penalty anyway. A little bit on between Mason Ellis and Gray back behind the footy. I don't think that'll be worrying Sam Gray too much.
Oh, they've had to retrieve the ball from the bowling club. Okay.
Yeah, the old fella there nearly put it in his car.
So Angus Rana for the first decent shot on goal for Goodwood Saints. 45-degree angle. Distance will not be a problem.
Yeah, for ball at Crumble.
And he makes sure of that. And that is Goodwood Saints' first and, I must say, much-needed goal on the back of a little bit of undisciplined play, you could say, from Sammy Gray at the back end of the ground.
Well, Jack, that might burn. They might come back and say that could be a bit of a turnaround in the game at that point. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, well, I think Goodwood Saints have got to try something, don't they? When you're 5 goals down, you've got to try and intimidate, try and get the game back on your terms a little bit, whatever it takes.
First, and so it was the 2 free kicks. It was the one Gray gave away to set Goodwood Saints forward, and then it was Smush's tunnelling at the other end that gave a run of the shot on goal. Cooper Gaffney somehow, strength, skill, I'm not sure, probably mixture of both, got the kick away. Zach Hawkins is there. His teammates tackled, got down past Taniskus, is also tackled, but they still managed, despite the tackling, get the ball forward. Now Heffernan picks it up, wheels around, kicks inside 50. Who's there in the pocket?
Oh,
they're marking prowess. This time it's Gavin Shepherd. How many marks inside 50 have they taken this game?
Well, the pressure that was put on Louis Whitelock as he kicked the ball there was what set this goal opportunity up. He just didn't have the time to be able to set his kick up and was forced to kick under pressure. Heffernan intercepts it. He lowers his eyes, hits Shepherd on the lead. Bang, shot on goal for Port Districts.
Shepherd, best on ground against Diggies with 2 goals. Has kicked his first today and the 5th for Port Districts, and that is a pretty quick response.
So Phil and Jacko, they've kicked out against the breeze, and I reckon that's probably worth 2 goals to the team at the moment, something like that.
Yep, you can kick goals to the southern end.
Well, interesting role for Benny Holzbauer today too. Looks like he's coming from the front half of the ground. I mean, we traditionally see him play across the wing, half back. He's a bit bandaged up. I notice his left knee. I'm not sure if that's the reason he's playing as a slightly different role, but yeah, watch that one. He comes in hard at the centre bounce. Actually, looks like he may have a defensive role on Cooper Gaffney. That's what it is.
Now, umpire's gone down. Play goes on. Kyle Kirk. Favoretto, who's, you mentioned players we haven't called much today.
Well, there's the pressure again from Port Districts, wasn't it? 2 blokes coming at him, Gaffney and Heffernan, and holding the ball, Phil.
Mitch and Cooper, the Gaffney boys, 2 very different hairstyles. As we head towards the 50-metre arc for Districts, kicked off the ground by Nuskus into space. Leading the race was Tommy Carter of Districts, and Shepherd out of bounds in front of the tennis club that's based down in the southwestern pocket of the oval. You ever think they might merge and meet in the middle?
Yeah, there'd be a lot to that.
One looks like they have decidedly better facilities than the other.
Yeah, Port Districts again away from the stoppage. Heffernan's having a significant influence on the game now. Good kick forward. Just can't quite mark it. Pearce comes charging in. They're under pressure, Goodwood Saints again. Can't set anything up due to the heat from Port Districts. They have won a free kick though. And it'll be Slape in the back pocket, I think. Reece Slape goes down the line looking for Holzbauer. And again, the quickness of the ball movement for Port Districts. Have a look at this. It's almost like watching an A and a B grade two sides compete at the moment.
Spot on, Jacko.
Attack on the footy.
Yeah. It's the speed of the ball movement that's from Port Districts. And every time Goodwood Saints get it, they are under significant pressure.
Hot potato, mate, Jack. Like you always said, get it out.
Yep. So Pearce is going to have a chance to get his second of the game. He kicked 1-1 in the first quarter. Distance again won't be a problem even into the breeze there. He's only about 30, 35 metres out. But yep, Goodwood Saints need to find something pretty quickly for mine. They're 5 goals down. This will make it 6 if Pearce can kick it truly. And he misses, pushes it to the right-hand side. So again, it's that missed opportunities from Port Districts. They're out to 5 goals, 7.
Yeah, I mean, compared with Goodwood.
Scoreboard pressure still, boys.
What have we got? 12 scoring shots to 1.
Wow, look at that kick from Louis
That's
Whitelock.
a huge kick, not quite into the centre, because it's actually the centre of the ground is not the centre of the cricket pitch area. But Smush has it. Handballed it straight to Sam Gray, who's next to the umpire. Umpire got out of the way. This is Josh Slape having a bit of an issue getting a firm hold on the football.
Well, good example of the pressure there, Phil. I reckon he had 4 bites of the cherry, Josh Slape, and just couldn't take the ball cleanly there. And that's what pressure can do sometimes. It can build, and that's what we're seeing. Some players are struggling to take the ball cleanly.
Right in front of the barbecue crew, who would have had a very busy day so far today. Tommy Carter from Goodwood through some hands. Favoretto with the kick, one-on-one. Halsbauer, thumb from behind by Cooper Gaffney. Now, there's a matchup for you. You mentioned before, Jacko. Hawkins is tackled on the 50-metre arc. Umpire says play on. Eventually, he'll take the ball. So, 10 minutes gone, second quarter. Port Districts by 31 points.
Well, I actually like the idea from Luke Donaldson to try and put a hold on Cooper Gaffney. It's exactly what I'd be doing if I was coaching against Port Districts. But you can see the stoppage here. Ben's trying to play 2. One, he's trying to be creative as well, but also try and keep a handle on Gaffney. So it'll be interesting to watch that one unfold.
The gentleman out there knows he's on TV waving to us. How you doing?
You're right, though, Jacko. It's still the quickness of Port Districts, and that's just a massive difference right at the moment, mate.
Yeah, matchups are really good in the back half of the ground. Port District. Beautifully. Look, that's Cooper Gaffney charging at that restart. So I'm not sure where Benny Holzbauer was then. Anyway, we'll have a restart. And Gaffney, Cooper variety, is actually making his way to the bench, I think, for a rest. No, he's coming out this way and trying to draw Holzbauer out. So Carter punches it forward again. Need to start getting some result on this dominance of the hand.
Boys on the benches from both sides, plenty of rotations. Josh Ramsey is taking each player to a side every time they come off. He's talking to them personally. So, yep, good relationship there.
All right, so James Batty has the ball now. True centre wing position. Kicks looking for Pearce. Goodwood Saints in good position, just can't mark the ball in the end. They do win a free kick through Reece Slape, and he's certainly trying his best. But that kick is poor and easily intercepted by Doug Gregg. Goes around the corner now, looking for Shepherd. God, he's got long arms, Shepherd. Good release from Batty. Around the corner went Daniel Passanidi, but Goodwood Saints in good position. Intercept. They flick the ball quickly. This is where they need to get this next quick kick.
Too slow.
I reckon that's Anthony Scara with the footy now. Yeah, it is. But look at this, back behind the footy. Too easy to intercept. Sam McKay. Good positioning. Moves it on quickly.
It's in that forward pocket. Every time someone touches it from both sides, they get tackled, except for Tommy Gray, who goes with the little worm burner kick, too low for his teammate. Now it's a hot footy at ground level. Sam Gray, what can he do with it? His hand pass has found a player. He's taken the shot. I'll need a bit of hand with the replay to pick up who it was.
Pearce.
Dale Pearce has two. He's missed a couple of set shots, bagged the set shot, and now he has one on the run.
Port District's pressure, boys, is absolutely superb here. They're just right at, not giving Goodwood Saints an inch at the moment.
Yeah, I've seen enough to now have them installed as the premiership favourite just on the way they played for a quarter and a half. I don't think we've seen a side. I mean, we've certainly seen Glenunga. Their pressure game is very good. But
and there was some really good work, because right there, Pearce was right in the contest. And then he's come forward another 20, 30 metres to get into this contest in a second. Oh, we missed it. Back to the live action. I think there's a player there. I caught holding the ball. Okay, good. We go forward. No, they're going to get a reprieve here because
no advantage.
Didn't go over the mark. No advantage. They get a chance to set again. Not from there, surely. Okay, from there, surely. Fair enough. Off the hands, back of the pack, and who's first to the footy again? Someone in the black and white.
Well, great example of the desperation of Port Districts. Two players went at that ball in the air, and they were both Port Districts players. Tommy Smush, Ben Millman, both committed strongly to the contest. I didn't see a Goodwood Saints player in that contest. So they are having a serious crack at the moment, Port Districts.
You almost get the feeling you'd want to do a body count, because there just seems to be an extra 2 or 3 players out there. And they're doing pretty well. Gould onto Passanidi. His kick down the wing out of bounds, which is fine in this league. No last possession touch, although it's out on the full. Goodwood Saints ball.
Yep, number 13 for Goodwood Saints, young Reece Slape. Boys have gone into the change rooms, boys. So I'm not sure of his injury, but I'll let you know.
Gee, that was a nice mark taken by Tommy Corcoran. Wondered where he was going to play today. Well, he's certainly playing in the back half of the ground. Get on with it, Tommy. I know Mum and Dad are probably at home watching it, but just get on with it, son. So free kick being paid again to Port Districts here. Trent Heffernan. Nice on the 45. Can't quite see who that is. Might be his best mate, Niskahoos again. He's certainly waxing those two. Now they go towards Shepherd. It's well punched by Looters from Goodwood Saints. Ball spills over the boundary line. He's certainly been good in several of the aerial contests.
That'd be great.
Coming up at halftime, we have an interview with Lambo.
Yeah, apparently he's put that at air so we can all have a listen.
That's good. He can do the interview. We could enjoy the hospitality.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Not that Port Districts are being particularly hospitable to their visiting opponents today. 117 to 6-7. That can't be right. Can it? Yeah,
I think that's right. Yep.
That's right. 5 goals, 30 points. No.
So no change to the structure from either side. Looks like Sam McKay, when he's in the ruck, plays as a loose player back behind the footy, and Shepherd comes up and takes the ruck work, or Pearce. It's Shepherd on this occasion, out of the half forward. If it's deeper, it's Pearce. Then Goodwood Saints need to think about what they're doing with their spare player in that situation. Carter handles the ruck, so who is it that handles Pearce or Shepherd? That player's got to go and get dangerous, or they make a decision with that player to roll with an extra at the stoppage. Looks like they're going with that decision, their stoppage, but having no great impact at the moment because they can't win the ball from stoppage, although this time they come away through Kyle Kirk. Gets it on the boot quickly. They still have control of the ball here. It's on quickly by Angus Rana deep. But again, an indication of the pressure. They just can't control the ball, and Tommy Smush wins a free kick for out in the full.
Seen a lot of the Goodwood Saints over 3 seasons. This is probably the worst that I've seen them. As Sam Gray gets the hand pass on to Niskahus, inside forward 50.
Good
That's
mark.
a good, solid defensive effort.
I think that's Luders again, is it?
Could be. It, no, can't be. Luders can't be a defender. Doesn't go with the name. Louis Whitelock.
Oh, don't see that too often.
And he's miskicked it again. Burgess sort of in the vicinity. He's got to come a long way out of his territory to get a feed with the footy. Skarner's kick beats the first play. Here's a chance for Goodwood now because they've got the loose player. This is Anderson if it sits. Of course it won't today. It's just not their day. The Port District Cavalry, the one time they've been outnumbered, the ground helps them. Spills back to Anderson who takes the shot. He misses. That's possibly the best passage of play that Goodwood have had all day.
And the reason is, Phil, because they moved the ball quick.
They moved the ball quick, but it was nothing particularly clean. They just managed to move it and get a shot off.
Yeah, it might have been Jack Carter, perhaps, that last contest out the far side from Goodwood Saints. Yeah, well, let's see what Port Districts do with their kick-ins. Sean Davidson, the skipper, long out the far side. Goodwood Saints in good position here. Tommy Carter, I think, won himself a free kick for a whack in the back of the head. Is it Carter, is it?
No, I think so. No, it's not Carter because I can see him elsewhere. I'll tell you in a sec.
Okay. So now beautiful kick, top of the square. 2 again, Port Districts. Blessing, was it? Yep. And a good effort by Skara. In the end, they were outmanned, and players jump from everywhere to make sure we get a ball up here.
Out of that smother, Jacko, number 3 for Port Districts is slow on his feet, matey.
Niskahus?
Yes.
Roger. Beautiful tap from McKay, but it only goes the way of Goodwood Saints. Tommy Anderson a chance around the corner. Can't keep it on track. Gee, we haven't called Will Clark at all today. The ball, in fairness to him, hasn't been down there a lot, but it's an indication, as I mentioned several times, the pressure. And this is Blessing again, who, yep, this is Blessing with the ball now. Had that last free kick. He's a bit closer to goal this time, so I think he'll have a shot. We should have a shot.
They kicked him from there today.
Yeah.
This one's worth a Violet Crumble, boys, if he kicks it.
So Jason Niskahus, we saw him kick probably the 2nd or 3rd goal of the game from that exact spot, but Scott Blessing doesn't get great purchase on the kick, does he? You know, is that breeze dropped off, Lambo?
No, Jacko, I reckon it's the same, mate.
Right, well, he should have done better with the kick then, because he was kicking from 45 with a breeze at his back. So Sean Davidson loads up, goes to the same spot. Carter punches it forward. Good quick hands from Daniel Passaniti. They go forward again, Port Districts. Now they're in good position, Goodwood Saints. Around the corner quickly. Good contest. And what about a contender from Sam Lowby for mark of the day? Correct, Sam. Don't worry about giving it off to anyone else.
Turn your back.
Correct, turn your back. Size the moment. You're watching this at home, young Sammy.
We've just decided our marks of the year nominations.
Oh, that was...
Check between the posts during the week to find out who's got in.
Mark, our team of the year going to be announced pretty soon too. So,
left-hand goal post.
Sam Lowby. almost identical. Oh, a bit closer than the last kick. He's not going to make the distance either, is he?
That's poor.
Another rush behind.
Well, that breeze might be a little bit trickier than perhaps we give it credit for, so we'll get maybe Lambo to give us a win report at half-time.
21 minutes gone. Port District have won the quarter 2-2 to 1-4, but this is the Saints at least having some time with the ball and getting some shots off. Haven't been rewarded with a goal thus far and won't be here with Smush getting the free.
Yeah, so Cooper Gaffney set that up again, and you wonder where is Benny Holzbauer? That kick maybe he's playing his spot in the zone and wasn't covering him there, but it was Gaffney that got it to Smush, who got the free kick. And, well, I think the one player you want to be locking down on...
I'm not sure he's on the ground at the moment.
Yeah, no, he is.
Oh, there
I
he
can
is,
see
talking
him.
to the umpire.
Yep.
Well, that's not much of an opponent.
And he is going to Gaffney. But, as I said, probably didn't have that role at the kick-in.
Off some hands. Goodwood Saints have managed to do well here. This is about their 4th or 5th consecutive inside 50. Cooper Gaffney had it tackled, has a teammate to get the hand pass away. Reckon that was possibly Sammy Gray. Spills out of bounds.
Well, I'm at the stage with it now, Phil, with this matchup with Ben Holzbauer and Cooper Gaffney, that maybe they need to change the matchup because Ben's trying, I can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to play an attacking role and make Cooper accountable, but it's not working. Cooper's not going with him, he's just reading the play, and now he's in fact matching up on Lauby. So the Goodwood Saints can't dictate who he goes to, obviously, but make a decision on whether you want to shut him down or you want to make him just play accountable footy. Well, at the moment, I think he needs to be shut down. Play a defensive player on him.
23 points gone. Goodwood have had a reasonable breeze at their backs this quarter, have made no dent into the quarter time deficit at this point. That was 29 points.
What they have done over the last 5 minutes is perhaps arrest some of the 50-50 balls.
Yeah.
And saying that Tom Gray, is it, I think, with the ball now, has taken a nice contested mark there. It's dried up a little bit for them, the speed of movement, and that was to be expected. We saw a pretty heavy pace for the first quarter and a half.
Port District's definitely playing on their terms, boys.
Yep.
Yeah. If I was Port District, I'd be a little bit tired and sore with all the work rate. With half-time imminent, maybe a chance for Goodwood Saints to snatch a couple back.
Yeah, nearly 24 minutes gone, Phil. Port Districts would be happy for the score to remain as it is. But Goodwood Saints, well, they'd be dying to kick another 1 or 2 goals before half-time.
Goes into that forward 50 arc. Jack Carter comes out to meet it. See it over the boundary line. Haven't had much in the way of rain. It's been a cooling breeze.
Oh, conditions perfect for football.
Yeah.
Perfect. Overcast. Yeah, it's all Port Districts here at Largs Reserve.
Tommy Carter, the Goodwood Saints Tommy Carter with the ruck tap. But picked up by Districts. It's a hot footy inside 50. Whitelock beaten to it by Gaffney, but couldn't get clear position. Sets with Favretto now. He'll bring it out of defence. Smush going back, and there's Will Clark, one that we've got to today. Takes a nice mark.
Yeah, lowers his eyes, goes to Holzbauer, who's playing up the ground a little bit now. Goes around the corner. Searching. A searching kick, not marked. Very chance when the ball hits the ground here, but again, Port Districts got all the answers. Heffernan now lays it off to Corcoran. Comes through the middle of the ground, out the far side. Plenty of grass there. Batty, the first one from Port Districts there, but he's well challenged by Burgess, but he's good enough to get it around the corner quickly. Gaffney. Ben Gould on the left. Not enough carry on the kick, and Louis Whitelock intercepts beautifully for Goodwood Saints. Now he plays on quickly. Goes to Jacob Heitman. We need a lift, or they need, I should say, not we. Goodwood Saints need a lift from him. Barracking for a close game, Lambo.
Yeah, fair call.
So back to Whitelock. Ignores Ellis. Goes to Lauby. Tom Smush drops what he should have taken. Carter. They've almost dropped the pace of the game here, Port Districts. Heffernan around the corner with the left. It's nice. But walking into an open goal, if you don't mind, for his 3rd of the game. Dale Pearce has now kicked 3 goals, 2, and they don't get any easier than that, Phil.
They don't. And it was a little bit like Goodwood's run of play. It was just forward 50 after forward 50. And whereas Port District were unable to hold on and eventually get the clearance, on this occasion we see the attempt to come out, the loose player hand pass, smush with the, good pick up. And eventually they found a loose player. And just keep your feet. Young Pearce, who that's a great work because he beat 2 opponents to get the goal.
Oh, it's beautifully done by Carter again in the ruck.
And again.
He's decided I'm going to have to try and do it all myself because I'm just not getting much from the midfield in terms of a clearance assistance.
But his siren's gone for half time, and like that goal, like the first quarter, barely seconds before the siren. So Port District have 7-7. That's 49. Goodwood Saints 1-4-10. That quarter was won by Port District. They kicked 3 goals, 2 into the breeze. Goodwood Saints 1 goal, 4 with it. 5 scoring shots each. But Port District's much more effective. Lambo's going to have an interview shortly. In fact, we're just getting some footage first of the players coming off. Your thoughts, Jacko, as we head into the halftime break?
Well, I've said this before that I won't write Goodwood Saints off because we've seen them come back too many times from situations like this. They're a proud football club, and they'd be disappointed with their first half. No question about that. They looked for a quarter and a half to be off the pace of the game. Couldn't compete with the speed of ball movement, particularly from Port Districts. Not so much the run when they got it, but it was just their ability to get the ball moving quickly when they got it. The Lightning handball. So, give them a little bit of credit, Goodwood Saints. The last 10 minutes, they closed that down a little bit, whether that was just through fatigue. Lambo's about to have an interview with Sean Baker, who is the fitness coach at Port Districts, and perhaps he'll allude to that. But, well, I wouldn't have picked 7-7 Port Districts. 49 to Goodwood Saints, 1 goal, 4-10. In fairness, Port District probably should be 10 goals and up by about 8 goals at halftime. That's probably how the margin of this game feels.
And it looks like we've got some food arrived. Not just the food, but the beers have arrived.
It is.
Okay, we're going to take a break. Okay, some direction, please.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks Tony, nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner. A stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Half-time here at Port District's Oval, and it's been a great game, especially in the Port District's point of view. They're up by 39 points. But one reason why they're probably up, Jacko and Phil and everybody out there, is probably their fitness. And I've probably got their fitness coordinator or coach in Sean Baker, who I've personally known for years. How are you, Bakes?
I'm great, mate. Long-time viewer and absolutely stoked to finally on the show, great man. You know, admittedly, most of what I know of you, Lambo, so I appreciate it, mate. I'll give you a bit of commission afterwards.
Fantastic, mate. So is this your first or second year at Port Districts?
First year. So we've been involved in a number of clubs over the time. I officially realised that it was time for me to hang up the boots and thought, okay, let's pour all our energy into supporting a local club. And we'd been in touch with Port Districts for a little while, with a bit of a strong connection being in the same area. They had a new coach jump on board and thought it was time to take things a bit more seriously. So, yeah, November we kicked it all off, mate, and yeah, it's been a great journey so far.
Well, hence why they finished top, like a new coach, different game plan, but from your point of view, from your fitness and all your techniques, you pushed them hard and they have worked hard on their fitness, mate?
Yeah, I think you just have to take it into context. Sometimes fitness coaches can overstate their role in the team, and I'd like to admit that as an S&C coach myself. You know, performance is a puzzle. You know, you've got coaches, you've got game plans, you've got skills, you've got cattle, and then obviously you've got to keep them healthy and make sure they can run on top of the ground. So I just did a lot of shouting. Really grateful that they really bought into the program, mate. We certainly had a bit of a challenging pre-season that I wanted to really come in and make a bit of a statement and touch wood. You know, it's hopefully paid dividends.
Fantastic. What we like to do, we just don't interview the coaches and the presidents, so people like yourself who work behind the scenes to make them successful. Your business now, Pete's been going for how many years, Bakes?
Yeah, 3 years as a physical business. I've been involved in being a sort of a sole trader and working at a number of sample clubs over probably the last decade. Yep. But decided it was time to take things a bit more seriously and open up Peak in Port Adelaide, and that was in 2019. And we've just announced that we're moving to West Lakes Boulevard in a bigger facility, great man. But that's still a few months away.
Do you want to tell us your location too, mate?
So West Lakes. We can't give the specific address just yet, but it's being built. Okay. We brand spanking new. It'll be about 4 times what we're in at the moment, and just very grateful for the support of, you know, the local footy community and the wider sporting community in South Australia. So hopefully we can make a facility that helps to close the gap between local and elite, mate.
Good, mate. You're still looking well for your age. Remember, Jacko and I coaching you at Broadview, and you're a terrific player, and also you played at state level in the amateur league. How do you feel the standard? This is your first year, like being involved, say, with Port Districts, the standard of Divi 1, mate?
I've always rated myself as a spud who tries hard, bit of a pre-season specialist who loves the running and lifting, but maybe struggles to find the red pill on the weekend. But mate, yeah, super standard out here. You know, I thought that potentially being my first year of playing footy that I'd get the itch, but this has really filled my cup. We've worked with a number of sporting clubs across netball, even sort of, you know, South Australian ice hockey. We're delving into a lot of basketball too. So touch wood, I haven't missed it just yet. You know, particularly when on the one shouting at the blokes in pre-season, I think, you know what, it's better to be on this side of the fence anyway. But yeah, this has really filled my cup, mate, absolutely.
Good. From a personal point of view, married now, yep. Baby girl, and I heard a rumour, little baby boy on the way. That's magnificent, to the Baker family.
Yeah, what do you reckon sort of Lambo Baker sounds like? Is that work? Is it Craig? We'll get Craig in there somewhere, I'm sure.
I think we'll leave it at Craig. We won't start anything, mate. But I'm going to let you go. So, Bakes, all the best with your business. Fantastic. Looking at the Port District players at the moment at half-time, you've ticked all the boxes. Let's see how good their fitness is in the second half. Full credit to you and the club, mate. From the Adelaide Footy League and Dartfish, we appreciate your time today, Bakes. And anything else you want to say quickly about your business?
No, thank you very much, mate. Yeah, if anybody wants to get in touch, peaq.com.au or PEAQ on the socials. We'd love to have you down, come and have a run, and appreciate your work, big boy. Thank you.
Thanks, Bakes. We love you, and well done, and all the best for Port Districts. Let's go back to the commercials, and well done, Sean and Jacko, so far with your commentating.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
And welcome back everybody. Largs Reserve, the Goodwood Saints. Well, they would have probably had a little bit of a baking in their direction at half-time. They're back on the Oval. Port District, yep, they're back as well. Continue at half-time. Webb Reserve, or Webb Oval I should say, the first semi-final. Glenunga 33 lead Prince Alfred 28. So a game that hasn't had much than a goal or more between them all day. That's the tight one. Here it's all about Goodwood Saints. How close do they need to be at three-quarter time, Jacko?
Well, they'll come home with the breeze in the last quarter, Phil, so I think they probably need to be within 3 or 4. So they're 6 goals down now, so they need to bridge the gap by three-quarter time. Interesting to see whether Luke Donaldson's made any changes. I see Benny Holzbauer's now gone onto the wing, so we'll see whether someone different has got the job on Cooper Gaffney. Try and locate that for you as soon as you can. Yes, that's definitely someone different on him now. It's Mason Ellis who traditionally does have a bit of a defensive role. So let's see how that plays out. So again, though, Port District's first team out of the square. Goodwood Saints have won a free kick. They're at half back. They come to this side. That bloke I spoke about, Mason Ellis, not being manned up by Gaffney. He's been well tackled, though, by Carter. And that was on the fall. Trent Heffernan, you got a career as a boundary umpire, son, when you decide to finish playing footy. But the true boundary umpire wasn't quick enough to get there to see that. Although Craig Lambert says it wasn't, out in the fall.
Okay. All happening right in front of us here. Bit of a short boundary throw-in. Chance for Gleeson to get in. Gets the hand pass away. Kick around the body by Heitman. Plenty of black there, and I think it's black and white generally. This is Tommy Corcoran, who somehow found space where there really wasn't any. Kicks into space and says, you guys go and get it. In the end, it's the boundary umpire has to go and get it. From across the fence. Well, they've got a great setup there. I think there's a barbecue and a beer tent, and it's all there on the outer side.
Well, the other thing he's done, Luke Donaldson, which I love to see. We've spoken this several times about some of the junior coaches in the competition, or blokes who haven't coached, not making or being proactive enough. He's moved Reece Slate forward, which I think is a good move. He certainly needed to try a few different things. So, yeah, we'll see how that unfolds. And Port District Sam Gray has no problems with that mark, and then no problem in front of the strong Port District crowd on that far side, just running into Mason Ellis and letting him know. So he loads up now, Gray, looking for Pearce, I would imagine. Shepherd's probably the tallest player in that vicinity. And I guess we'll see a lot of this in the second half. I did hear a little whisper recently that we may be introducing, or they may be introducing, I should say, the last touch rule in the Adelaide Footy League next year, which will prevent this sort of situation, which I think will unfold as this game continues.
Well, it is already here in the league, but just not at the A grade level. They've
Yes.
done it at B and C grade level to help with the fact that it's usually clubs providing the boundary umpires as we're chatting away. Good tackle, mate. That was a Kyle Kirk who came in from nowhere. His kick, though.
You got to hit that kick at A grade level.
Yeah.
You got to hit that kick.
Aaron Serene and Jack Carter in the vicinity, but missed both of them. So we're not quite at the point where Goodwood Saints have to make every post a winner, but you'd like to see them starting to win the majority of battles. Tom Carter went the big swing. I'm not sure how much of the ball he got and how much of Sam McKay he got. He spills to Niskahus, who's straight in front, 40 metres out. His kick wayward to the left. Been saying that a fair bit today. They go to 7-8. They've cracked the half-ton. Have Port District, 7-8-50. Goodwood Saints 1-4-10. A 40-point lead, which I reckon is a game high.
Called it a few times today, Heffernan and Niskahus. That one didn't end with a goal, but Tommy Carter, he's trying his heart out for Goodwood Saints. Favretto just not having his best game, so he's laid it off Carter, and Favretto was tackled it by Mitch Gaffney as he kicked it and just put enough heat on, and this is symptomatic of the game so far, put enough heat on to cause his kick to spill. Now Sam Gray coming in and giving Nick Favretto some advice about that kick, because Tommy Carter's going to have a shot on goal inside the 50, first shot for the half on the back of Nick Favretto's poor kick. And he makes a meal of that one as well. And they probably won't come back to rue some of their missed shots for goal, but it's probably the only blemish on their game to this point, Port District's.
They could have almost have it sewn up.
Yeah, it's a fair call.
At this point. I mean, not only do Goodwood Saints have to score 41 points, they have to do it against the best defence in the competition in a half. So, not the easiest of asks. They do have the ball in their hands at the moment. It's with Whitelock, who goes back and misses the target of Heitman. There's just nothing I'm seeing, Lambo, that indicates that Goodwood Saints are going to get themselves back in this ball game.
Basic errors like that, and the guy who's played state football is not on.
Yeah, you expect more from Louis Whitelock. His last kick was actually a beauty. They hit in the pocket, but that one wasn't so good. Speaking of Tommy Corcoran, he kicks it long to Pearce. Goodwood Saints can set something up now here if they're good enough. They take a risk and come back through the corridor, but it doesn't work for them because Jack Gaffney's in beautiful position. Plenty of players calling for the ball. He's no short of options. He goes deep to the pocket towards Pearce. Copped a little bit from Jack Carter behind him. And a good test for young Dale Pearce today. And so far he has stood up to that test from Ben Millman and Jack Carter at times.
I think Jack with the Piercy too, he's been very disciplined today too.
Yeah, we haven't seen the frustration that we've seen him in a few times. And that's just a little bit of maturity, I think, is that the more he plays, the better he'll get at dealing with that. So Carter goes to Aaron Serene.
Goodie Saints need their leaders to really stand up right now. They don't have a sniff.
Yeah, the captain's right there.
Yeah. Yes.
Still on Gaffney. Cooper Gaffney.
Well, you wonder whether Mitch Gaffney's got a blanketing job on Favretto. I'm guessing he has been tasked with sitting on Favretto. So we'll keep an eye on that. Lambo?
Yes.
You can keep an eye on Favretto and just see if Mitch Gaffney is running with him.
Yeah, I will, mate.
Number 14, looks like he's with him now.
He is at the moment. We'll see how we go in the next few minutes. I'll give you some great feedback. Hank.
Well, just trying to give you something to do while you're sitting there getting cold. Go and eat all the pies. And we've got to thank the Port Districts Club today for the spread at lunchtime. Well,
good organisation by the Lamb.
Yeah, they've surpassed Goodwood Saints. In fact, folks, if you're watching this and you're not far away, feel free to pop down to the caravan. Got a couple of spare pies and Sausage rolls?
$2.50.
Yep.
$2.50.
No.
$2.
With sauce.
Oh dear. Well, ball between the 50-metre arc. We haven't had a lot of scoring, just the 3 behinds. All to Port District, out to a game-high 42-point lead, which is 7 goals to tie it at the moment. The 40-20 rule's got about 13 minutes to kick in.
I'm going to throw something else at you, Phil. I wonder whether Goodwood Saints spoke about changing up the ruck hit. They predominantly hit the ball forward, but it hasn't worked for them. I think maybe they should look at that's an option, because Carter does do that well, take it himself, or hitting it on the check. Because Corcoran comes out of the back now.
He's been outstanding.
He's been good. Shepherd keeps it in beautifully to Carter, to Tommy Gray. He won't miss from there, and he doesn't. That is his first for the day, Tommy Gray. But I'll tell you what, it's not Port District's first. They go out to 8-10. Goodwood Saints, well, they are bamboozled.
I reckon they're almost there, Jacko.
Oh, I think they are too, Phil.
I can't. Comebacks are one thing when they're trailing. St. Peter's, I guess, was the game we were thinking of, where St. Peter's had them early at Goodwood, and the Saints came back, but they were never down by more than 3 or 4 goals.
And also, too, Phil, speaking of Sean Baker at half-time, they were a very fit team too. So.
Yeah. Oh, of course he'd say that, pumping his own tyres up, Bakes.
Well, nothing has been seen to dispute that so far. It's an 8-goal lead to the minor premiers at home. 8 minutes into the third quarter, and they go again. This is to Tommy Carter of Districts, who shakes off his opponent, picks up the ball, runs on the inside of his opponent, kicks to the top of the square.
Oh, how good.
And Tommy Gray is about to put this game beyond all doubt.
Well, that was a beautiful passage of play. I thought Tommy Carter could have had a shot himself when he came inboard, but then he elected to go back outboard towards the boundary line. But, wow.
Tommy Gray, 2 in a minute. And that's game, set and match for mine. Port District a 9-10. That's going to be 64. Goodwood Saints 1-4-10. It's a 9-goal margin.
Well, what's left on the rest of this game, Phil, is a little bit of pride. You don't want to pick up the Sunday Mail or tomorrow and find you've only scored 1 goal in the paper. So there's still plenty of time for Goodwood Saints to be able to resurrect that a bit. They want to get to 4 or 5 goals for the game, otherwise it may have a lingering effect.
Well, whoever they play, Glenunga or Prince Alfred, are going to be watching this tape pretty intently, I reckon.
I know footy's a funny game, boys, but they've got another quarter and a bit to go. Okay?
Oh, look, I'm not saying that Goodwood Saints can't make a respectable score. They can't make us nervous for a moment, but I just don't see how they're going to overcome this deficit at this point.
This time they come out of the middle. Goodwood Saints. Nice bit of play. Ends up with Holzbauer. Just can't get enough on the kick to favour Angus Rana. And then they'll get a stoppage. But a nice passage of play out of the centre square nonetheless. Didn't work out exactly right, but they'd like to think they're a chance here. We'll see what Carter does here. It looked like he made as if he was going to hit it backwards. Just a poor bounce. The umpire has seen a free kick there for Goodwood Saints. And
Favretto?
It looks like Favretto and maybe against McKay.
No, not Favretto. It might be Kirk, possibly. Yes.
Yeah, Kyle Kirk. He started this quarter with a bit of intent, actually, Kyle Kirk.
Yep.
All very quiet in the first half, boys.
He was quiet, correct, Craig?
I don't think there's much stats next to his name, Sean.
Right, okay. Well, he's no lone ranger there in the Goodwood Saints team. There's the chance to do something for his side now. That looks good off the boot. And that's their first goal of the game to the southern end. First time they've been able to score into the breeze. It's Kyle Kirk's first goal. And more importantly, it's Goodwood Saints' second. Only 2 goal scorers for the game.
Well, they peg one back.
What they need to do, boys, is get the ball out the centre, get a bit of consistency and keep attacking the forward line because, again, Port Districts has still got all the answers.
I should also add Goodwood Saints' 2 goals, both through free kicks.
Yeah, you'll notice Mitch Gaffney standing alongside Favretto in the centre bounce as well.
Oh, that was a good call, Sean.
So I've called that. Yep. Carter hits it back. Again, almost the identical play as the last one. Just can't get enough again on the kick. Tom Smush grabs it. Handballs it a bit wildly. Tom Carter goes for the hack off the ground. It ends up with Ollie Johnson. Haven't called his name much today either, I've got to say. Kirk. Rana a chance for a free kick if the umpire saw it. He didn't. And Sean Davidson, is it, that's got the ball?
Tommy Corcoran.
Tommy Corcoran, okay.
Corcoran's kick to the outer wing.
Have a look at the pace of Ben Gould, if you don't mind.
Yeah, beat everybody except the boundary line.
Yeah, the trouble is, boundary umpires are always pretty quick too.
Yep, comes with the territory. You couldn't be a slow boundary umpire and last too long, could you?
We have seen a couple over this year.
Yeah. I noticed that when we did our little umpiring stints in the C grade, that thing a couple of years ago, Jacko, that was the one job none of us took up.
Yes, correct.
Was boundary umpiring. Who'd want that for a gig?
He'd still be in hospital.
That's it. Well, another free go in the way of the Goodwood Saints.
So Tommy Anderson, the veteran, lowers his eyes nicely, hits up Jacob Heitman. Well, we've seen him play some good footy this year, Jacob Heitman. He's very quiet today. Goes in the direction of Rana. Slapes there. Tom Smush, well tackled. Geez, what a terrific tackle that was. Again, it was Kyle Kirk who was determined to try and put his imprint on this game this half.
The last 5 minutes, boys, their intensity has increased a little bit. Goodness, they are having a bit of a dip at the moment.
Yeah, they put a little bit more heat defensively on and it's hard to get a read, really. That first quarter, the speed of Port Districts, was it the lack of pressure from Goodwood Saints that accelerated that, made it look a bit worse than it was? I'm not sure. Kyle Kirk, chance to go 2 in a row, can't get it. Spills to the ground. Ends up with Jacob Hughes. Is it Jacob Hughes?
Yeah.
Didn't even notice Jacob Hughes was playing. Yeah, he's had a knee reconstruction at the start of this season.
Yeah.
So how many games has he played, Phil?
He's played 8 and one in the Rezzies.
He's co-captain too, boys.
He's played 8 games this year, has he?
Yep. Kicked 5 goals.
Well, he must have had his knee reconstruction early part of this year. Maybe he never had a reconstruction. In fact, I think that's what they did. They've elected to just rest him instead of having the operation. So
some special tape by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't work, mate, the operation, if he did have one, because that kick was a shock.
He should have had the operation, you reckon? Hard man, Craig Lambert.
Yeah, well, that covered the length and breadth of the goals without scoring a single thing. In fact, that kick's probably gone backwards by the time you've summed it up. Smush has got it on the outer side.
McKay.
Found McKay, who we were a bit worried about early days, but has bounced back nicely. Long penetrating kick with the breeze. That's going to go over the back of the pack. Saints have some numbers. Comes to Serene Anderson. Yeah, that's one of the rare times they've actually worked as a cohesive unit. They've done it again. This is Skara with the hand pass. Kick inside 50. Tommy Corcoran says, it's our house and it's my footy. And he and Carl Kirk have been having an interesting battle over the last 10 minutes or so. Because Kirk has had his fair share of it.
Yeah, interesting decision by Tommy Corcoran. Kicks long now. Daniel Passaniti, the little whippet. Love the fact that I said he had to leave when we called his game earlier to go race at the 7th at Globe Derby. Not Globe Derby, at Morfettville. He hasn't got any taller.
Plenty of rotations, boys, at the moment this time of the game.
Right.
15-minute mark of the third quarter. As you said, it is an oval, isn't it? It's this ground much narrower than it is lengthwise.
Oh.
Take the ball.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to get back to basics, don't you? Just get at the footy, take the footy, and if you get caught tackle, well, at least you've won the footy and you've taken it cleanly. But far too often today, some Goodwood Saints players have not taken the ball cleanly when they've been under pressure.
So Luders won the free kick for holding the ball. He's gone deep into the Northern Tennis Club pocket. And heads towards the scoreboard. Off some hands again, Port Districts with some numbers. And Serene eventually gets in the way. Takes a mark and repels another forward foray. 9:10:64 to 2:4:16 on the Sportal scoreboard. 16:50, 17 minutes gone of the third quarter.
Good kick from Carter. Finds Josh Slape. Really got to play with a bit of dare now, Goodwood Saints. No point playing for anything other than a win here. And for them to win, they need to kick some goals, which means they're going to have to play with and take a few risks. The long kick down the line is not going to work for them. They've just got to get it on quickly, try and use the corridor as much as they can. And if it hurts them the other way, well, so be it.
I agree, Jacko.
Looks like Burgess has gone back into defence on Batty too. That's another positional move made by the Quack at half-time.
Cooper Gaffney's kick is high and ends up out of bounds. So that breeze definitely has been playing a little bit towards us. And I know you've been feeling it through the course of the afternoon.
Oh, the chill factor. Yeah, Jacob Hughes' knee's very heavily strapped, that left knee.
Long kick, Reece Slate went up. Blessing came down with it. Hand pass by the boundary. Saints keep possession for the moment.
Good mark.
Hausbauer did well.
Get it on.
Dealing with a little bit of a low sun now.
Can have a cup of coffee. Come on.
Yeah, that's Lambo spot on there. That's where they've just got to take run and gun.
Hausbauer's one of the guns and he can run. Shepherd did his best to work out his opponent, but that's a decent mark, I think.
Jack Luders.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Watch Tommy Gray through the middle of the ground. Hits it to the jockey, Passaniti. He goes again. Shepherd going to walk into an open goal. He does.
That's poor football.
But I tell you what, I don't mind it from Goodwood Saints. I don't mind it. They're actually trying to attack, and I called that.
That's right. You can't say
correct.
Terrible when you said about 2 minutes ago, try and take some risk.
Yes.
And Port Districts were ready and waiting with the trap.
Yep. The execution just wasn't the greatest, was it? And that's the risk you're prepared to take if you want to win the game. And well, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But
Jaco, I agree what you said then, take it on, but do it at a decent pace. That was slow motion when they did it, though. That was the difference.
Yep.
Hence the mistake, turnover.
Yep. So now the question is, well, not so much now, but more the last quarter, it's about how do you want to play next week rather than this week? When the game starts slipping too far away from you, it's more about getting your brand right for the week after.
It's getting your brand right.
Well, making the play the way you want to play.
Okay. So I shouldn't laugh. I just find that this concept of a brand becoming part of a football game amusing.
It's a new word out there.
Yeah, come on, Phil. Stay up with it.
Stay up.
It's a trend. And you are a trendsetter.
And here they go now. Heitman in the middle. A kick just, look, didn't give Slape any real chance, did it? But he did it beautifully, Slape. Just not enough on it for Holzbauer to be able to keep it in his territory. But I don't mind the move, Slape. I don't think I've seen him play up forward before.
The reason is too, Jack, he's not 100% fit. But
Slape?
No, he's not. He's got a thigh injury, but he's out there.
Right, okay. Yeah, coming back from injury, missed the last game, didn't he?
Got an update from Webb Oval. Prince Alfred by 12 points.
Right, okay.
Was that 2 minutes ago?
Yep, so Ellis quickly onto the boot. Nice mark. I reckon that's Sam Lowby, the other jockey out there on the ground today. He kicks nicely to space. Oh, once again, you've got to hit that kick at A-grade level because Will Clark just couldn't quite get to it. Have a look at the speed of Ben Gould. See what happens here. And now we've talked about Goodwood Saints for the last 5 or 6 minutes. What will Port Districts do is be the interesting here. Will they try and lock the game down for the rest of the game, or will they figure, well, you know what, we're 8 goals, 9 goals up. We might as well play it the same way we've played to get us here. As Batty goes long into the forward line. Goodwood Saints, Favretto first to take it. The handball doesn't hit the mark, however. And Heffernan gives away a free kick for head high. Ellis comes into the corridor. Ollie Johnson, need a lift from Ollie. Oh, missed the handball by a long way. Put Blessing under a bit of heat. Now Burgess comes running nicely off the back half. That's much better football from Goodwood Saints. It's actually good to watch. And I reckon that's Will Clark, and he's coming into the game a little bit now. Is that Will Clark? Yeah, it is. He's certainly coming into the game now.
Not sure he thinks he can kick this.
No, not
I don't think he can kick this.
No, he's waiting for Angus Rana, or he should wait for Angus Rana. He's finally got there, Rana. He's laid it up. Slape probably was in good position to take that. Ball goes through Ellis. And Trent Heffernan appeals for holding the ball.
Jacko, just quickly, Jack Ludis has gone off for Goodie Saints. Straight into dressing rooms. I will follow up on his injury, mate.
Righto. Well, that's the other thing you'd be starting to think about from Goodwood Saints. If Slape's no good, or not so much no good, but a little bit sore, might be time to take him off the ground as well and get him right for next week, because, as Phil has said, this game is shot.
Yeah, 40-20 rule where you've got, 40-40 rule, sorry. 40 points up, 40 minutes to go, or the 20-minute mark of the third quarter. Port Districts have that well and truly covered. Just don't see comebacks of that magnitude in any game, let alone a finals that tends to be a little bit tighter in the scoring. Port District, yep, that's it.
Slowing it down, yep.
Calm the Farmers, get the three-quarter time with this 54-point lead, reset and head for home.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if we can get Lambo out to the huddles to hear what the coach's messages are.
I'll do that, Sean, mate. I'll get right in their ears, mate, and I'll bring it back to you.
Don't get in their ears, mate. Get in their voices.
Goodwood Saints have already booked a trip to Norwood Oval on September 17. Their C grade won the second semi-final. Port Districts play Princes in the C1's prelim next week. Port District also won the Bs there in the prelim reserves next week. So, no surprise in many ways that the top teams are having finalists in all their grades.
It's that last kick again. Ends up with Lauby. Comes back into the corridor to Johnson. Gets a free kick. Plays on quickly. I like the intent. Clark. Slape. No, Tommy Anderson. Tommy Anderson kicks his first for the day.
Probably the best goal for the day.
Yeah, best passage of play for Goodwood Saints. And speaking of, what have we been thinking about passages of play for the Simon Blackie Academy play of the day?
There isn't one. We've only got 2 awards now. It's finals
what's happened to Blackies?
As I discovered last week. So we have the Archie's Footwear Best on Ground.
Right.
That wins the Archie's Footwear and the Dartfish Beanie. And we have the Moseley Bar and Kitchen Team Player Award. Look after your mates with the Moseley Bar and Kitchen voucher. Just checking with Lambo, I've got that right this week.
Yeah, spot on, Phil. There's no Powerade. The sponsorship only went for 18 games this year, so I might have to get out there and see if we can get them on board next year for finals.
But just for a couple more weeks. I'm sure your house has got room for a couple more crates of the stuff, Lambo.
Yeah,
your house must smell of Powerade all year.
Yeah, I better get rid of those dozen.
So interesting blow of the whistle by the umpire there. Tommy Corcoran versus Anthony Scarr in the contest. What's he ended up paying?
A ball.
A neutral ball. Cannot believe that.
Well, maybe there was joint responsibility.
Anyway, this time he's paid a free kick. And he's paid it to the skipper, Benny Holzbauer, against Sam Gray. Handballs quickly at Ollie Johnson. You can actually see, can't you, the way Goodwood Saints playing. They are taking a little bit more risk now. So that's a sign of an experienced footy side to be able to adjust during the course of the game the way they play. May not always work, as we said. As Shepherd comes at the footy, Jack Carter left himself pretty much open there, Jack, and lucky to get a free kick. You've got a couple of players behind the handball too. Misses them, misses Holzbauer, and then kicks poorly to Jack Gaffney. Jack Gaffney goes inboard. Look at that. Look at the space Ben Gould's got there. He's got another player overlapping on the outside. If he can get it to him, he doesn't. Dougie Gregg very frustrated. Finally, he goes to the corridor to Gray, who is slowing the game down.
Definitely playing on their terms again. Slow, quick.
Yep. Now to Heffernan. He's got Doug Gregg at the far side here if he wants him. Doesn't. Goes long. Shepherd. Threatener all day. Cooper Gaffney with the left around the corner to Batty. Falls over again. Gee whiz.
He's been on the ground all day, Jack.
Every marking contest he falls over at.
Wow. Just while Jack Gaffney, have a look over at the scoreboard, I reckon they're trying to set the Guinness World Record for the most number of people they can fit on the scoreboard.
Apparently, no.
15.
It's wind resistance over there. They're pretty warm over there, Phil.
Yeah. I've seen grandstands with less people in it. Anyway, back to Gaffney. Port Districts have kicked a goal on the quarter time siren. First, second and third, and there's a late one at the 27-minute mark in the third. Just to add a little bit more acid to everything.
Well, the interesting stat there, Phil, is the first Gaffney to kick a goal. Today. We have an interview with the 3 Gaffney boys this week. Can't think of too many sides that have 3 brothers playing in the same A-grade side, other than the Schwarz boys at
You're going to
Flinders
get into
Park.
the handball comp?
I don't think they're coming into the studio. I think
Oh,
they've got to come down here.
Okay, fair enough. Because that'd be a brotherly comp. That'd be quite interesting,
Yeah.
I reckon.
So it looks like Dale Pearce has gone into the ruck now. Port Districts forward again. Sam Gray goes to Pearce. Now have a shot at goal, son. Have a shot at goal. This will bring the house down. Oh.
They haven't corrected for that all day. Yeah, I mean, heaven help Goodwood if Port District had have kicked that a little bit more accurate.
Reminds me of the Kane and Chad Corn story, actually, seeing Dale Pearce play out here. His dad has coached him, sacked out here midway through a year, and let your son play here 10 years later. He's obviously a more forgiving man than me.
I'm sure Dad is around the place somewhere.
Oh, yeah, Dad's here. Yeah, well, he's normally here watching.
55 points, and there's your siren. Three-quarter time here at Largs Reserve, and Port Districts are well on their way to a spot in the grand final. They lead 11-11-77. Goodwood Saints 3-4-22. Lambo's going to head out to the huddles. Jacko's going to give us some insightful analysis. I'll try and find out what's happening at Webb Oval and other prelim and grand finals around the league. Hope you're enjoying the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a one-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
three-quarter time here, and Port Districts have had all the answers. 55 points up. Their route rate's been great all day. They've given the first one. They've been disciplined. So all their coach wants them to do in the last quarter is maintain what they've done all 3 quarters. Run. They're very fit and be disciplined from the back line. Goodwood Saints, Luke just said, look guys, we've got nothing to lose. Get the ball on quick, kick it long, work rate, be in front. We get 3 or 4 goals on the run, you just never know. But Goodwood Saints have been very disappointing today. But you know what? Port Districts have been fantastic. One more quarter by Port Districts and they're off to a grand final. Back to you, boys.
Well, that's a very good summation from Malambo and probably exactly what I would have expected from both coaches. Port Districts, they don't need to do anything different to what they've done for the first 3 quarters. Wouldn't bother trying to say lock it down. They've got enough of a scoring advantage that they may as well try and blow the score out even further. Port District, sorry. And for Goodwood Saints, well, as mentioned before, they want to probably kick 5-6 goals and make the scoreboard look a little bit better than it currently looks, just to give them a little bit of, well, good feeling about next week. So at three-quarter time, scores are Port Districts 11-11, 77, Goodwood Saints 3-4-22.
Just about three-quarter time at Webb Oval. Prince Alfred by 3 goals. We'll give you some score updates through them during the final quarter. But we are set to rock and roll the final quarter here at Largs Reserve, and you're with Sean Jackson.
All right, so McKay against Carter. McKay it is, I think, maybe that got it. It's built forward for Goodwood Saints. Good tackle by Gray on Goodwood Saints. He got it place over the line a little bit, doesn't he? That was a good tackle on Mason Ellis. I like the way he plays, Sammy Gray. He really has a fair dinkum crack, as they say. So, again, plenty of numbers around this contest. No one able to spill the ball out. Well, one thing we haven't seen a lot of today, which is generally an indication of good pressure, is repeat stoppages. Port Districts seem to have been able to get the ball away from situations like this with relative ease over the course of the game. So that's an indication of a lack of pressure from Goodwood Saints. At this stage, Goodwood Saints get the ball forward. Lowby's there, but Tommy Corcoran in good position for Port Districts, gives it off. Now they come down looking for Carter. Tommy Gray flies at it. Louis Whitelock, the veteran, under pressure. Shepherd from Port Districts. Now that was a contender for the goal of the day, but unfortunately you can't give it a goal of the day if it only ends up a point, Phil.
One of the criteria is it does need to be on the day,
right,
and it does need to be a goal.
Other than that, it was a contender.
Choose whatever you want.
So copying a smack in the head for his trouble with Mason Ellis. He's had a fair dinkum crack in the second half. He's felt that one though. He's given it to Whitelock. Comes down the middle, not a great kick though. Tom Schmush has been pretty solid for Port Districts all day. Must mention he good inclusion of their side this year from Woodville West Torrens. He kicks it over to Zach Hawkins, who started the game off in sensational fashion. Back to Gray, who's shut down. I really don't like the idea of him turning his back consistently on the play.
Taking a shot on goal is bad enough, but on the half-back line.
Yeah. He goes down the line looking for Shepherd. Tom Carter. There's an opportunity for him to get man of the match today. I know we haven't done it too often, but clearly I reckon he's almost the most influential player on the ground.
Team, Sean.
Hey?
Winning side, mate.
All right, so Scar up. Can't get that one to drop end on end. Ends up hitting it towards the behind post, and we'll get a restart at the right end of the ground if you're a Goodwood Saints supporter.
We'll give you some. I've got a couple of other score updates from some big games around the Adelaide Footy League this afternoon.
Forward to Shaker at Heart versus
I've got that one.
North Haven.
Div 2, but we'll wait for the next break and play. Is Smush in the ruck. Down to Millman, sees out of bounds. All right, this is three-quarter time. Sacred Heart by 33 points. 8-10-58, North Haven 4-1-25. So the dreams of the Peninsula punch-out. I can't think of another word for it at the moment. Port District, North Haven, not quite maybe next year, but it's looming close.
Lumen, was it?
Looming.
Yeah, thank you. Lauvie, is it? No, it's the little fella, Kyle Kirk again, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, he's lining up. No scores from 3, 4 or 5 division prelims or the Div 7 granny.
Right.
I think a lot of people are really keen to see how Lockleys go today.
Yes.
But Div 6 prelim at St Mary's, Marion 8-16. 8-16-64. West Croydon 9-8-62. 2 points margin there.
Kyle Kirk kicks his second as you are distracted by what's happening around the other games. Phil, I'll continue to keep my focus here.
I'm sure that our viewers who follow the Adelaide Footy League, I mean, they're big games. It's not just making a grand final. The winner of these prelim games today get promotion.
So Flinders Park in Division 3 up against Edwardstown.
Not a clue.
Is it? Not a clue. And that is well overdue, them and Golden Grove to be going up a division.
Yep.
Golden Grove there in the grand final. Flinders Park need to win today.
Any thoughts on Broadview making it to Div 1, Jacko? We
Well,
covered it in depth while you were away.
okay, let's stick back to this game. Gray around the corner. I suppose he would have to be a contender for the man of the match, would he not?
Well, you're judging it, Jacko. So
Oh,
you
don't tell the
us.
viewers that I'm solely responsible.
I had to take a bit of share of last week's. It's a tough gig. I'll give it to you. The pressure.
So
'Cause-
Tom Gray has it on the half-forward line.
The look on Lambo's face when you give him the sheet, and then the look on the player's face when Lambo taps him on the shoulder.
Dale Pearce.
He's played a good game, boys.
He's been a difference, hasn't he?
Well, I don't
been
think
a
he's been the
difference.
difference.
Not the difference.
He's been a contributing factor.
Let me
Phil.
rephrase it.
Yes.
I'm seeing Dale Pearce today as I haven't seen him before.
Yeah, it's a fair
appreciating
call.
he's had a good year.
Yep. No, that's a fair call. And
Been
pretty
very disciplined today, boys.
pretty
like I
good
said.
player to be able to build your team around when you've got a 200 centimetre full forward who can switch hit into the ruck. They talked a little bit about that being the trend now in the AFL, the 200 centimetre forward, the King brothers. Anyway, Dale Pearce, an opportunity to kick 4 for the day. And he has indeed. At 4-3 by my reckoning. Dale Pearce is a good man. It's a good day's work by any key forward. 4 goals from 12. He scored 33.3% of their goals, Phil.
Well, his biggest bag is 5 goals against Spock. He's possibly got a chance.
Big
The
chances,
scoreboard
mate.
attendants are getting a bit creative over there at the
Yeah,
moment.
121-12, 8. I told those kids not to have too many lollies.
I think they've just, take that one down. That's good. 12-12-84 to 4-4-28. That's 8 goals, 8. Back to 56. I think pretty much this game can't end soon enough as we're bathed in beautiful sunshine. All of a sudden it's a glorious Adelaide spring day. And the footy continues. AFL tonight, Sandfield tomorrow, and we're back at Norwood next week for the prelim final, which on current scores looks to be Goodwood versus Prince Alfred, the 2020 premiers against the defending premiers.
We've seen them play some good games too, haven't we?
Yeah.
Against each other, so that promises to be a ripper.
And of course, big week across Adelaide Footy League next week because grand finals across 5 different men's divisions. I'm sure you and Tony will have it all beautifully covered in between the posts during the week, Jacko.
That's great
I
pressure
would
by
have
Port
thought.
Districts here.
Yeah. Niskahoos now has a bounce after 1 metre, has another bounce after 2 metres, then misses the kick. So actually hits the kick because Shepherd's long arms are good enough to be able to turn it back
That's good
in his
football.
favour. And the quick kick to Heffernan in the corridor was terrific team football, as Lambo alluded to. But Niska, no need to have a bounce after 1 step, son. You got a chance to kick a goal. Oh, does the old handball so he can get it back, then dribbles it off the ground. Oh, in the end, it's all too much.
Yeah.
And Goodwood Saints relieve.
I think the skill level is just starting to drop a bit. Sam
Yeah.
Gray, though, he's been really impressive today. I hope he's high on your list for the best on ground.
I'll be a Gaffney.
It'll be Lambo's getting it, fair enough. Down the wing, I think there was a player taken off the ball. Umpire saw it. Will be a Goodwood Saints free kick. Of course, the other big thing that's happening next week, massive week for Adelaide Footy League, is the Keith Sims OAM medal count.
That's Monday night, is it?
Monday night, same night as the McGarry. So you can watch the Keith Sims and then watch the McGarry after that.
Right.
Tommy Carter, the Goodwood version, ruck taps it forward. Who can run onto it? Will it sit? No, it won't. In the end, not scared out of it, but worked off of it. And Port District a clearance. So that'll be, check the Adelaide Footy League Facebook page for all the links and streams. Starting at 7 p.m. Monday. All the various divisions. That kick out of bounds, you can see they're packed to the rafters. Oh, you used that line, didn't you, Jacko? Earlier here at Largs Reserve. In the middle, Cooper Gaffney, the look away over the head handball. Finds the target. That made Jacko look up. Look away. Kicked away by McInerney. There hasn't been too many Port players, district players, that we haven't called a lot today. Ollie Johnson with a bit of dash through the middle. Straight down Heffernan, we reckon it all started about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, better second half from Ollie Johnson. Might give him a bit of confidence going into next week. Heffernan's been good, just got better, like a good bottle of red as the game has unfolded. Clearly, he, up until 2 or 3 years ago, was the best player in the comp for probably 3 or 4 year period, Trent. So good to see him. He's a player that deserves, having stuck the hard yards out at Port District, deserves a little bit of success. As Tommy Schmush comes charging off the half back line. Lack of pressure there by Charles Pridham allows him to kick it. And Batty, for the first time I've ever seen him take a mark and not fall over.
Spot on, Jack. I was just about he kept his feet there, Jack.
You always got to leave a mark, don't you?
Well, that's what commentating's all about.
You can't fall over if you're running backwards to take a mark above your head.
Yes, you can.
So James Batty, opportunity to get his first. I've got him down for the day.
17 at the seniors for the season. Did kick 5 goals against the Goodwood Saints in round 13.
Right. So he won't miss this. It's normally a pretty reliable kick for goal. Straight in front.
Right hand side.
No, he didn't kick it. So it's play on.
But look,
Tom Gray has it. Handballs off to Ben Gould. No, Heffernan. Shepherd, I beg your pardon. Ball was a long way away from where we're sitting, and I've got to view this through 8 sandwiches, 3 pies and 2 pasties and 6 cans of Coke, because they're the leftover that
thanks for leaving some
provided
for
by
us.
Port Districts today.
We got some food still at the front of you, boys. I can't eat it all.
We need to put an SOS out to the Salvation Army, get along here this afternoon and pick up some of this food that's generously been given to us by Port Districts.
Having spent the first half convincing people that we weren't an ice cream band. Well, you weren't here for that. Little girl, we opened up to get set. Little girl came up and wanted a soft serve.
What, not a slushy?
No, not a slushy, sorry. Lambo.
She said she wanted the soft serve. I suppose you sent her to Lambo.
Yeah.
She wanted the hard serve. You sent her to me.
Jack, how you going with your vision for best players, Hank?
No, we pointed her in the direction of the club rooms.
Well, I've got dead set the team man player sorted out. Okay. It's just the best on ground, but I think it's probably Sam Gray, isn't it?
Well, mate, I don't think Sam wants another beanie, to be honest with you.
Right.
I'm about to say, like, we could get him
I
recycled.
thought Zach Hawkins has been consistent, even though he had an outstanding first quarter. I reckon he's been good. But anyway, it's
is there a player today who's exceeded expectations? That would be what I'd be thinking if I was putting it together.
Jeez. Oh, Gavin Shepherd. Anyway. Batty.
Well, I tell you what, Dale Pearce has probably exceeded my expectations. He got against a good player in Jack Carter. He's got his knee bandaged heavily, knee.
At the moment, he's almost outscored Goodwood.
Yeah, the only player that's kicked 4 goals.
It's a 2-point game.
Could we recognise the role of the full forward?
Oh, that's into the scoreboard. That'll knock a few Skittles over.
Any other contenders, men? I haven't seen Luke McInerney today, which is unusual.
Tommy Smush had a really good smother that was impressive early days. In terms of a team man action.
Heffernan to be up there.
I reckon Heffy's right up there.
He just gave the ball there to Benny Gould. Now he goes to Pearce with a one-hander. Just couldn't quite keep it. Blessing gets good enough from Goodwood Saints to get it.
If he can snag 5 today, it'd be hard to ignore.
Ollie Johnson in the middle with some length. Well done, Smush. Port Districts go out the back.
He's a bit nervous.
To Benny Millman. Good pressure by Burgess from Goodwood Saints.
Lambo, see if you can use your influence and get a runner to tell Pierce that if he gets 5, he can have the beanie.
5 gets him the beanie.
You reckon gets him the beanie and the Archies.
I'll never get the Archie's footwear, of course.
Yeah.
Going to be very handy footwear very shortly.
So Smush taking the ruck work back there. Favretto, well tackled.
The other one you could think of, Jacko, is who did you say was on Favretto?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've got him for the team player.
Okay.
Who's that, Mitch or?
Mitch, yep.
Yeah, number 14.
Yeah. See him riding him like a blanket, and the other side did that quite effectively against Nick Favretto too. 2 or 3 weeks ago, put a good
Prince
tag
Alfred?
on him. Prince Alfred, was it?
Well, that's who we called last time we called Goodwood.
I'm just trying to think who the player was that tagged him.
McNamara or Larson? No.
No, but anyway, I can sense the lack of energy coming from your direction, Phil. You've already
No, I'm
tuned
good.
out.
I'm
You
good. I'm
You're
just.
up? Basketball tonight?
Grand finals in the basketball, but I'm not commentating, so just going to be there and spectate.
Okay. Goodwood Saints back forward again. Rana. Heitman around the corner. Gee whiz, Tommy Corcoran's been important for Port Districts as well. Don't like this slowing the shutting it down. Look at me though. Tommy?
54-point lead, 15 minutes gone.
Keep playing the way they've been playing.
Get out of that. Get that out of your game. There's Long. Goodwood Saints, nice take off the deck there.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jack.
By
Number
Serene.
14, Mitchell Gaffney as best team man. I think that's a good decision there.
I thank you, Craig.
And
A little bit of input into best on ground would be appreciated too.
Well, normally we wait for someone to bob up as the hero in the last minute, but we're not used to a game
no,
quite.
Dale Pearce.
We've
4
had a
goals
lot
is
more
good effort.
closer games than this during the course of the season, as Buddy has it in the middle.
I can't.
And you've also had a really good, across-the-ground, solid team effort.
Gaffney, Cooper. Pierce! Oh, Pierce for the man of the match. The kick was just too tall. I tell you what, it's an elevator kick if it goes over the top of a 200-centimetre player with arms like Inspector Gadget too. That will bring rain, that kick.
A little bit like hitting it over the head of Joel Garner.
Well, what's he kick? He's kicked 4 goals, 3. So is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trailing Goodwood. If Pierce can beat Goodwood, he gets the beanie.
Don't forget the Archies too, Phil.
And the Archie's footwear. Thank you, Lambo.
Yeah, it's a combination, mate.
Okay, should we run through all the sponsors whilst we're waiting for this game to end?
Shepherd, give it to Pierce, Heffernan. Kicks on the left foot round the corner. There is your best on ground, Trent Heffernan.
Yeah.
There is your best on ground.
Yeah, and he's running off too
Trent
to come over to
Heffernan
me. Come over here, Trent. Trent, come over. Come on, mate.
Yes.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you beanie. Yeah, he's fired
I
up.
love it when you play well in the last couple of minutes. You know you're going into a grand final. You want to get off so the crowd can all cheer for you alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not like the end of the game. The crowd cheers for everybody.
Mate, Trent's done well for a 37-year-old.
Well, it's 10-goal margin.
Yeah, I
And a
think
couple of us tipped Port District to win. I don't think it was by this margin. And their number 1 ranked defence that allows 56 points a game. Today, just the 4-goal 6.
Lambo.
Okay. The votes are in.
Heitman round the corner. Charles Prim just couldn't quite control it.
Pushing
Free
the back. Goodwood Saints free.
Free kick right in front of goal. I think it'll be the little jockey Lauby.
He's bobbed up from time to time.
Yeah.
Goalless thus far. That's 21 for the season.
Well, it's exactly a 10-goal margin at the moment. If he kicks this, he'll bring it back to 9, which sounds a lot better than 10. Can he? Will he? No, he can't.
Update from Webb Oval.
Yes.
Prince Alfred by 13. That was 4 minutes ago. So I'd assume they're about midway through the final quarter. Started at the same time as us. So Prince is in front, but not match winning yet.
Okay. So, interesting to see whether Reece Slape is still out there, Lambo. Or is he now being coach giving him a bit of a rest?
He would be one. Yeah, well,
He's still out there, actually. Yeah.
The furthest away from a footy coach you'll find at an oval.
No, he's still out there, Jack.
Yep.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
Update from Richmond. Sacred Heart leading by 48 points.
Fantastic.
Midway
result
through
there.
the final quarter, I think Shock are coming up to Div 1.
Yeah, well, they've been pretty good all year, haven't they?
Yeah, they'll face Broadview in the grand final next week. Who
they
are
had
you
three-
back in there, Jacko?
Let's try and get a score on the Flinders Park game for us.
Good luck.
Sacred Heart had 3 players out last week and they got them back this week.
Is that right?
Yeah, true story, Jack.
Good to hear. Go the Catholics. The left-leggers. Tommy Schmush, speaking of Catholics, St Michael's boy. Handballs it to Gould. He goes down on his knees in prayer. They go to the far side. The excitement has probably gone from the game, but have a look at the crowd on the far side, would you? They've not left.
They can't wait. They can't wait, Jack, to run onto the oval.
When was the last Port District's grand final in Division 1, Phil? How many years ago?
I don't know. I know their last premiership was 07.
Yeah. So
I'm
that's
not 100% sure they've actually made a grand final in Div 1 since then. If you want to watch some
So
footy,
that's
I'll
15 years ago. Shepherd takes
see
a
if
nice
I can
mark.
Google it.
Puts a little bit of, a bit of heat on Mason Ellis. He's taken his time. Gavin Shepherd, been a very important recruit for Port Districts. Just didn't quite hit the
Do your push-up, Shep.
kick to Gaffney. Burgess comes at Smush. Ball spills forward, probably hanging on to Tommy Smush. And certainly will feature, I think, in Port District's best players today. One of the better games I've seen him play this year. He kicks it laterally to Doug Gregg. And now goes to Luke McInerney. His father sets up camp behind the goals. And he finds James Batty, who again keeps his feet.
Last time Port District played an Division 1 A-grade final, 1994. They lost to Kilburn.
Division 1, 1994, they played.
Division 1 grand final, they played Kilburn 2 years after they beat Broadview, 1992, their last
So
Division
the
1
2007
premiership.
wasn't Division 1 then?
No, that was them winning Division 2 to get up to
Two.
Division 1.
Right, okay.
And they haven't been in a Division 1 grand final since then.
All right, well, that's James Batty's first. It restores the over 10-goal margin for Port Districts.
So Betty might play in the grand final team, Jack?
Well, I think it'd be very hard to change too much to this side, you would think. I'm not sure what the coach's options are.
But Josh
But
Ramsey,
got an interesting thing for you at Flinders Park game. At full time, it was a draw. 5 minutes each. At the end of the draw, a further 5 minutes each ended in a draw. Then play till someone scores. Lost by a point. Flinders Park have lost.
So Edwardstown are in the grand final and in Division 2.
Oh, hang on, that could be last point.
Oh, okay.
12 goals 2 to 4 goals 11. They were down at three-quarter time. Wow. So they come back from 6 goals down as Shepherd goes around the corner. Can't keep it on track.
Let me see if I can get that confirmed.
Try and get you a score now.
I know where I got to go. Hang on.
Focus.
Yes, focus. We have lost our focus somewhat as Tommy Corcoran takes a contender for mark of the day. But as we mentioned earlier, you've got to hang on to him. He makes his way to the interchange bench and a good return for Port Districts. He's certainly more than held his own here today. Carter to Niskahoos to Shepherd. That's Goodwood Saints this time in the way through Jack Carter. And the umpire's plucked out a free kick. It'll go to Jacob Hughes. Plays it off quickly.
What's
now
the time,
Scar
Phil?
in the middle. Time is
23.
23 gone on the far side. Goodwood Saints. Nice out the back here. To Serene. He kicks it to Mason Ellis. I beg your pardon, Scott Blessing it is that has the ball. Brings it nicely into the corridor for Ollie Johnson, who's had a fair bit of the ball in the last half, I must say. He's kicked this side of the ground. Should have been marked by Heitman. He didn't mark it. Paddy puts him under some heat.
He's had a Heitman day.
Yeah, Skara. He missed the handball to Skara. That's pretty poor footy. But I think, in fairness, both sides are now thinking about next week, and we can excuse whatever happens in the next 3 or 4 minutes, because the players are like the commentators, folks. They've switched off.
No, some have, some haven't. I'm full of it here. Here we go.
Well, Lambo's got his big moment of the day coming up.
Oh, Paddy. He's had a good last quarter,
nice
actually.
bump.
Ben Gould, left footer, into space. Tom Gray, can he? Yes, he can.
No, he can't.
Falls over. Got to keep your feet. Louis Whitelock does it nicely.
Two somersaults in the clap there.
It's up Holzbauer. The interesting decision of next week. Oh, good mark at full speed, Mason Ellis, I think that was.
Yeah. Not enough, though, today, Sean.
No, gets it on quickly. Holzbauer. And a really nice intercepting mark from Port Districts.
Yeah, Carter.
Tom Carter's been more than serviceable too, hasn't he? In fact, there hasn't been too many weak links in the Port District side, I've got to say.
That's their strength all year in their back line, and, yep, you can see it today, boys.
Yep.
So the kick down the wing finds a Saints target. They'll bring it back. Ground bathed in sunshine now as a couple of players run into each other. Sam Gray mops up. Goes the 1-2 with Hawkins. Runs straight down the guts. Wormburner kick. Straight to Heffernan. He decides, I'm going to go across goal. He's going to go and pick up his own laundry in a second.
Sensational.
Does that to Niskahus, who hand passes to him. Somebody says there's a player being held onto. And that is a Goodwood Saints player in Jack Carter. Will relieve some pressure momentarily. 25 minutes gone.
Yeah, I think a lot of Goodwood boys will just go straight to the car and go home and have a shower, Sean.
And one thing I'll tell you about Goodwood Saints Footy Club, mate, they are a club that respects the game. And they would be in the Port Districts Club having a beer after this game. Mightn't be a beer, but a soft drink. They are a club that knows how to play the right way.
Fair call, Jack. Fair call. I'll take that back. They might wait 10 minutes and then have a shower.
Yep.
Suffice to say, the game's come to a standstill. Literally.
They've had the... Is Jason Niskahus all right there, Lambo, just coming off the ground?
He's got blood coming off his nose, mate.
He's just had a bit of a blood or two around the nose. He's got one.
Right, okay.
Yep, he's okay.
Got caught picking his nose, did he?
Well, he picked the winner.
Had a good year, Niska. Back from some pretty poor injuries the last couple of years, so it's good to see him just playing regular footy.
There you go, that's it.
There is the siren. Folks, that has been a comprehensive win from Port Districts right from the start of this game. Their intent to play with some speed and their one touch and their ability to link up was terrific, and they really sat Goodwood Saints on their backsides very early in the game, and from then it became, well, can they bridge the gap, Goodwood Saints? And unfortunately for the Tiger supporters out there, or the Saints supporters out there, they couldn't. And Port Districts go into the grand final, Phil, 2 weeks' time.
Well, the team that we had probably underrated all season because they were so far ahead of where they'd been in recent years and what expectations were under a new coach, and now they are the first team into a grand final. And the way they played today, they will be incredibly heavy favourites, especially if they get a rematch against Goodwood. If it's against Prince Alfred, who currently lead by 14 points over Glenunga, well, you have the team that's dominated all year against the team that's charged late from the elimination, and you never, ever know. But a big day, probably the biggest game of footy we've had here at Largs Reserve in a decade or so, I reckon, and Port Districts have got the hat-trick. They won the C's, the B's, both first semi-finals to play next week, and they won the big one emphatically.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at their side as I get an update for you on the Flinders Park score. They actually have lost. Down by 38 points. So I'm not sure what that means. Full-time draw. Anyway, they've lost, and looks like Edwardstown go in the grand final in Division 3.
Yep.
So they do keep choking at finals time, Flinders Park. But anyway, let's move on. ripped through the Port District's best players. Well, as I mentioned 5 minutes ago, hard to find a poor player. Sean Davison marshalled the troops beautifully in the back half, along with Tommy Corcoran and quite like Ben Millman's game back there as well. They're pretty solid all day. Niskahoos was good. Sam Gray, well, arguably best on ground. James Batty had his moments in the second half. Ben Gould with some real speed. Luke McInerney, a workmanlike game from him. Normally we see him taking a lot of intercept marks. That wasn't the case today, but certainly could hold his head up. Dougie Gregg, likewise, workmanlike game as we always expect from Doug Gregg. Trent Heffernan was terrific, got better as the game went on. Jack Gaffney played well. Tom Gray, 2 goals up front, was good. Mitch Gaffney, I thought his blanketing job on Favretto was terrific. Shannon Jenner was good. Dale Pearce gave him a real good target with 4-3 at the front end. Gavin Shepherd, 2 goals from centre half forward, a good effort. Sam McKay up against it in the ruck, but competed pretty hard all day. The little rover, Daniel Passanidi, the little forward, I should say, tried pretty hard. Tom Schmuss, I think that's probably his best game that we've seen him play. Tom Carter was good up forward. Cooper Gaffney, as usual, good off the back lines. And I mentioned Ben Millman. So, all in all, pretty hard to find anything negative to say about Port Districts. And I reckon you'll find the smile on Trent Heffernan's face will light up the western suburbs for the next 7 days, because there's no man who deserves to play more in this league in a grand final in a couple of weeks. Great to see the Heffernanator.
Port Districts today, right from the first bounce right to the end. They won by 65 points, I think, Jack, if that was right. But best on ground today, we gave it to young Trent Heffman, number 10 for Port Districts. Well done, Trent. Here's your beanie and Archie's, mate. You wear them with pride, mate. And what did you think, mate?
Yeah, look, pumped, absolutely stoked. You know, we haven't had much taste of finals over the last 8 or 9 years, and it was just pressure for us from the get-go. It was just pressure, and we just hunted them. And no one better than Mitchie, you know, he set the tone.
You're fit. We spoke to your fitness coach at half-time. You've got a good coach, spoke to him before the game. You've ticked all the boxes, mate, so you have a week's break and focus again, and whoever you play against, you're going to be well prepared.
Yeah, we'll be ready to rock and roll. Hopefully we got through unscathed. Yeah, boys will be pumped, and we'll recover, and I think we'll have a couple of sherbets tonight, you know.
Not too many though, Trent, focus.
Yeah, not too many, but enough.
Congratulations, mate. Number 14 for Port Districts. Jacko loves your family. I don't know why, Mitchell, but Mitchell Gaffney, the Moseley Bar and team player, mate. Congratulations, $100, mate. I did speak to Dad before the game, and he said if you've got anything, you have to share it with him, mate. But you were pretty close to one of their better players today. Was that your role for most of the game?
Yeah, Rama asked me to tag Fab. I think he kicked 20 goals last week. So, he was pretty dangerous, so they wanted someone on him. So that's what Rama wanted me to do.
Young fella up forward, kicked 4 goals today, and he was pretty disciplined, I thought, too. Piercy?
Oh, yeah, he was good today, actually. Yeah, he can sometimes be a bit off when he kicks, but no, he's on today for sure.
Fantastic, mate. Look, from behalf of Dartfish, for both of you, great effort making the grand final. It's been a long time, but you got one more game to go, and that's what it's all about. So congratulations on the awards, and all the best for the grand final.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Back to Sean and Phil.
Thank you very much, Lambo. Congratulations, Trent and Mitch. Enjoy your prizes. Definitely well deserved, but at this time of year, Jacko, I think it's been all about the big prize, and that's a berth in the grand final. That's going to have the peninsula pumped for the next couple of weeks. And I suspect we're going to see a lot of black and white at Norwood Oval September 17 when we bring you the big Buddy Bet Division 1 grand final day.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Phil. I think we're all excited to see a bit of fresh blood in the 5 as well. So Port Districts have struggled to impact the 5, over the last however many years, 7 or 8 years. They seem to sit in that 5th, 6th spot. And some good recruiting this year, there's no question about that. A new coach comes in and, they're in the grand final, and they're going to be up against a traditional rival, so Prince Alfred or Goodwood Saints. Both have been there before, so being able to settle on grand final day is important, your nerves, and being able to play under that bit of pressure. But we saw enough today, didn't we, from Port Districts in the first quarter and a half to go, they are the real deal. I am officially on the bandwagon.
So you've ditched your Glenunga scarf.
And bang, I need some Port District scarf.
Lambo's back on the field. Lambo, from your ground level position, what did you make of Port Districts today?
Well prepared, coached well, and the players were disciplined right from the start. Great standard, Jacko. The intensity was good, their tackling was good, and look, you've got to say at the moment they're hot favourites, and no, it was just a great effort, 110% by Port Districts. Where does Goodwood Saints go now? Like you said, they're a close club. They'll regroup. I think they're playing Prince Alfred. That's going to be a tough game. But we'll see how good Goodwood Saints Football Club is after this game, today's loss. But overall, great game of footy. They're celebrating down at Port Districts, and congratulations to them. And back to you and Phil.
Alrighty, might be time to wrap this one up. It feels like we've been wrapped up for a little while, because it certainly was Port Districts out of the blocks. They held Goodwood scoreless in the first quarter, took a 29-point lead, and I reckon they won every quarter thereon. For all the results around the Adelaide Footy League today, plenty of prelim games. Remember to check out the Sunday Mail, Jacko's favourite activity on Sunday. Yeah, in the Sunday Mail, checking the results. The weekly wrap brought to you by CMAX Clinical Research as well will be out tomorrow night. Adelaide Footy League Facebook page Monday night for the Key Sims OAM medal count across all the men's divisions. Want to thank all our sponsors, in particular Jason and the Banner crew, our Sportal Scoreboard, Police Credit Union giving us Jacko on the boundary right acrosses, and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen, Archie's Footwear, and a Dartfish for the prizes. Next week's broadcast, it's the preliminary final. Goodwood Saints, well, at last look, one more look, it is not final yet, but it's Prince Alfred by 14 points as we speak. Lambo, have you got your mic handy for any final word from Lambo?
Look, it's been a fantastic day. I think the atmosphere's been great. Jacko and Phil, I can't believe they had, I reckon, close to probably 724 people here today, and I reckon that's just a great effort. Port Districts, a lot of celebrations to make the grand final, but you know what? They've done the hard yards to get there. So let's see what happens in 2 weeks' time. But overall, football was the winner today, boys.
Always the winner, Lambo, always the winner. Jacko, well done. You did exceptionally well today. Welcome back down under. And, yeah, looking forward to some big finals coming up.
Well, I am. I'm looking forward to grand final day, because it's what we've got now. We've got the Westerners versus the Easterners. Okay. And I am on the Port Districts bandwagon as a Westerner.
What'd you call them in the first quarter?
Wharfies. Nothing wrong with Wharfies. It's a badge of honour, Phil.
It's a badge of honour.
You need to appreciate that.
Don't remember that in my Woodville Cheer Squad days, but okay.
It's a good job to have. If you get a job on the wharf now, you have done and set yourself up beautifully. So, no, I'm looking forward to supporting the Port Districts Westerners as they roll through the rest of the competition. And there's only one game left for them. And next week, well, Norwood Oval, we got the Spooners of Prince Alfred up against the Spooners from Goodwood Saints. So it'll be a clash of the spoons.
Well, clash of recent premiers, only one will get to have a chance for another one. Alrighty, thanks to our behind-the-scenes crew, Bodie, our producer, James and Liam give you plenty of great pictures. Thanks to Lambo Jacko. Thanks for you. Go get some sleep, my mate. And see you with Tony between the posts during the week. I'm Phil Hurden saying thanks for being with us today. We will see you next week at Norwood Oval for the prelims. Can't wait for that. Good night from Larks Reserve.
See you, folks.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.